Pop truth drop, welcome to the show. Champagne secrets, let your power grow. Every video spark, ignite your inner light. Raise a glass to the future, shining bright. Empowerment is the code, we decode. Unravel mysteries, life's own secret load. Step by step, tap in, find your flow. With champagne secrets, you're gonna glow.
Unlock the strength within you, watch it bloom. Life's a canvas, painted every room. Through ups and downs, cheers to what's next. Champagne secrets, life's complex. Welcome to the show. Champagne secrets, let your power grow. Every video spark, ignite your inner light. Raise a glass to the future, shining bright. Empowerment is the code, we decode. Unravel mysteries, life's own secret load. Step by step, tap in, find your flow. With champagne secrets, you're gonna glow. Unlock the strength within you, watch it bloom. Life's a canvas, painted every room. Through ups and downs, cheers to what's next. Champagne secrets, life's complex.
Now gang gang, do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. Chunk your gang signs if you gang bang. I be outside with my gang, and I be yelling now gang gang. Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. Chunk your gang signs if you gang bang. I be outside with my gang, and I be yelling now gang gang. Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. Chunk your gang signs if you gang bang. I be outside with my
Champagne gang and visitors to the Champagne City, welcome to Champagne Studios. Now, before you get too comfy, let's set the tone because we have some house rules, aka the Champagne Code, because in this lounge, we have standards, baby. Rule number 1, sip before you spill. Think before you comment. We love a little razzle dazzle, but reckless mouths don't get refills. Rule number 2, don't come for nobody unless you got receipts and a clean record. Tea is fine. Hypocrisy? Nah. If your own glass is dirty, don't try to toast over here. Rule number 3, say it with your chest, then back it up with a fact. We love opinions, but we love well-seasoned commentary even more. Don't bring unsalted tea to a gourmet table. Rule number 4, this ain't no back alley gossip lounge. We serve truth on platinum trays. If you're here for fluff, go find a pillow. We get into it deep, grown, and glam. Rule number 5, this is a judgment-free zone, but ignorance will get clocked. Come as you are, but don't come uninformed. We grow, we glow, and we check each other with love. Clock that. And last but certainly not least, no crusty vibes in this crystal lounge. If your energy's expired, your pass is revoked. We keep it cute, crisp, and champagne fresh around here. And remember, my loves, the rules aren't just for play. They're the velvet ropes that keep the vibes exclusive and the energy divine. So keep it cute, keep it classy, and never forget, you are it. And demure has never meant dull. Now let's enjoy the show. Yeah, I'm just talking and forgot to add myself to the doggone stage. Lord have mercy. See, this is what happens when you go back and forth between OBS and StreamYard. I'm an OBS girl, but when I want to have my panels, I got to be in StreamYard so y'all can come up. Welcome to the Champagne City, baby. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Champagne gang, Fizz fam, and visitors. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm the Empress, and you are joining me for grown discussions and bubbly banter. Baby, over here we give classy with a twist, huh? A little clink with chaos with a side of charm. So if you're ready to sip, savor, and spill, baby, grab your favorite glass of bubbly, kick your feet up on one of those chase lounges, say hi to a few people in the chat because we friendly over here. And let's get ready to get into Talk Yo Shhh. Y'all know how we do it. And y'all know we on the series talking about toxic culture. We done talked about relationships. We done talked about music, and we gonna go back to those relationships because y'all, what happened wasn't YouTube fault. It wasn't out of nowhere. My internet just shut down wasn't a blackout. There was nothing going on at all. Just shut off in the middle of my live. So we gonna run that part back. And thank each and every one of you who joined us last night for our special mystery show where we ran back our nemesis show, them doggone sex robots. And guess what? Outside of me forgetting to unmute myself a few times, the show went off without a hitch. No glitches, no drops, no show disappearing out the algorithm. And we had a time. So thank you for joining me talking about the future of sex, these robots. I still want to know if y'all drinking the Kool-Aid or not. But tonight, we are going to talk about these broken families because I got a question for y'all. Do y'all think toxic culture started with the family structure breaking down? Is that how the culture, and when I say culture, for all of those who are listening, I am not just talking about those of African American descent. I'm talking about culture as in people, as in human race, all of us. Did it get toxic when the family structure broke down? Let me look in the comments and see what y'all have to say. Y'all still saying hi to each other in the chat. Welcome in Zach. Welcome in Nisi. Welcome in Progressive One. And those who are listening in the background. So when do y'all think the culture got toxic? Do you think it was with the families? Do you think that was it? And the reason I got it split up the way I do, fam lies, is because I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but some of the biggest lies you'll ever be told in your life is going to come from family. And I'm not talking about family that you just call your family because you grew up together. No, I'm talking about those who share blood with you, flesh and blood, actual relatives. Some of the worst heartbreak that you will ever experience comes from family. Some of the worst daggers that you'll have to pull out your back is gonna come from family. People that you share blood with. When do y'all think we got to the place where the family structure really broke down? Do you remember when families used to turn off the TV and sit around the dinner table on a Sunday? Matter of fact, not just even on a Sunday, because Sunday was when all the family came together. But anytime it was dinner time in the household, you had to put everything away and sit at the table and eat together like a family. When did that stop? When did that stop? When did it go away? You remember when children came in from school and parents asked them, what you got for homework? Let me see your bag. And they took the time to look in the bag. And not only did they do that, but they didn't send them off to complete their homework. No, they actually sat at the table with them and made sure that they understood the homework that they were actually doing. Uh-huh. Yeah, the music and the video games didn't raise the kids. No. YouTube didn't give the kids all the answers. No, AI didn't figure out how to answer the problem for the kids. No. But see, this was back during the time when we still had cursive in school. You know, when young girls were taught home economics and young boys were taught woodshop. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that time? Seemed like so long ago. But my question is, when did it change? When did it go away? One day we just looked up and there was no more home ec. There was no more wood shop. You know, it was like in high school, they wanted to make sure the kids had somewhat of a trade. You know, something to fall back on. They wanted to make sure the young ladies knew how to cook. Y'all, let me tell you story time, right? Story time. So when I was in high school, and I went to a predominantly white high school. So we had home economics. We even had science labs. But yeah, our class was horrible, all of us. So to all nationalities, we was just horrible. So we're in home ec, and we have to make a cake. We have the ingredients. Now, here's the problem. We weren't confused on how to make the cake. Matter of fact, we weren't confused on the recipe. There was no confusion at all. However, with our bright Gen X gotta test the boundary cells, we decided if we just double the ingredients, we can make a bigger cake. So we take all the ingredients and double it. So we make this cake, mix everything together, put it in the oven. Y'all, we pull the cake out. It looked nice and pretty, golden brown. When I tell you we put frosting on the cake, it pretty cake. Baby, when we got ready to cut into the cake, the thing was like rubber. It was like the doggone knife went down in it about 3 inches before it even cut a piece into the cake. We was horrible. Did the same thing trying to make homemade pizza. We did. We wanted to double everything. Problem was the size of the pizza that we created was like really too big for the oven. And instead of, trying to figure out how to cut it down, we was just going to figure out how to fit it in there and almost set the whole room on fire. When I tell you we tested those teachers' patience with children, but see, that was a day and age where the teachers still had respect. Like, parents still respected the teacher. They still respected the educational system and the principal. And it wasn't parents going up to the school cussing out the school because the school had to discipline their child or put them on timeout or suspension or they had to miss recess. No, if a parent came up to the school to deal with a child because the child was out of line, no, the parent was going to get on that child's ass. Not the school, not the teachers who dealing with y'all badass kids. No, somewhere the family structure broke all the way down, broke down to the point where it seems like we no longer care to fix it. Welcome to Talk Yo Shhhh, Progressive One. Go
Hey,
ahead.
thank you for having me. This is definitely an interesting topic that you chose on today. And there's definitely a breakdown in what we call family in these days. I said in the midst of the comment, I think it began to break down when the strategies that were working somewhere down along the line, somebody decided to change it and then it just continued on from there. And then even if it wasn't something that was tossed aside, it was something that it became frowned upon. Like, I understand the whole concept of gentle parenting and all of those things, but gentle parenting is not the era that I grew up in. And I love my parents, both of them. And they didn't just give me brute force, if you will, but they also gave me love, and they helped me to understand that life, if you misstep, have consequences, little things like that. But now, in changing of the strategies, we laugh at babies and children cursing. Now there is no curfew when in our era there was one. Now there is no family discussion because at dinner table that you spoke of on Sundays, there's a lot of times where discussions happen. Now you no longer have that. And now everybody's looking around saying, what happened? We changed the strategy that was working for whatever reason.
Thank you, Progressive. Welcome, Zach.
Ah,
I said, welcome, Zach.
hello.
Can you hear us? Hello, Zach. Are you there? We start talking to my ASMR voice. You know, this is late night. Hello, Zach. Are you there? Come to the front of the room. It's your time now. But no, really, I wanted to go while we wait on Zach to pop back in. I saw this comment, and I'm gonna re-highlight the comment because I absolutely agree. It says,
Hello.
yes, it's broken. Hey, Zach, you there?
Yeah, I can hear now.
Okay, cool.
What up, Zach?
What up? What up?
I'm going to read this, Zach, and then I'm going to give you the floor. It says, yes, it has broken down. It broke down when the working strategies changed or is now frowned upon, like curfews, not talking back, not using the word lie, being told it's what's on the table. Basically, you know, you don't have a choice. And I agree with you. I think somehow we got to a point where kids were able to have too many options. They were able to choose. Yes, you want to let your children have individuality, but as a parent, you're supposed to be helping your children make the best decisions for themselves, not throwing them out there and telling them to choose one and then leaving them to deal with the consequence of their choice when it go bad. You're supposed to place good options before them to choose from. Yes, no curfews. We had to be in. I did a whole video, and if y'all haven't seen it, go over to Champagne Secrets Reacts. It's a video on Gen X. Gen X, I know it goes up to 1980, so I'm officially a Gen Xer. But people were saying, where's Gen X? So all these Gen Xers are responding, and they're talking about how millennials and these new age kids could not have survived during our time. When you have police who are locking parents up for leaving their kids at home at 7, 8, and 9 years old by themselves. Yet when we think back to our childhood, hell, we was 7. What do they call latchkey kids with the key around your neck? Go in the house, you lock that door. I don't care if Jesus comes to this door, you better not open it. You go in there, the food is already fixed. Do your homework, sit your butt down, and be in the bed by this time. It was no discussion. There was no other option. That was the option. All of these kids outside to midnight, 1 o'clock, losing their life at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Why are you even outside? Zach, go ahead.
So you asking why? Where it broke down at?
Yes.
You know, I look back. I would say, you know, it's man, it's complex. I can say from the late 70s, especially the early 80s, with the heroin and the crack epidemic. I think that on top of, you know, the welfare system really, especially in our neighborhood, it really started the welfare system. Franklin D. Roosevelt, when he instituted that, to put these measures with the taking the man, putting these steps in place where the man is, can't be in the household. It started that decline, and then when the heroin and the crack epidemic hit, that obliterated the family with mothers and fathers, where the kids started having to grow up too fast and didn't know, what was going on. So that's when I think the 80s, even though that was my generation as well, we had some great times coming up. But when it got into the 90s and the aftermath from the crack epidemic, it didn't start hitting until around, with the decline in the families, where kids started having to be more mature than their minds could keep up with. And so I think that's where it started the decline, with our family structures and things of that nature. And then
I hear you.
as the elders start passing off, it was already planted in that, this independence, this defiance in children started then, I believe.
One of the biggest things, and I don't know if you were on, but the reason I have families on the screen and it's broke up, fam lies,
Mm.
is because some of the greatest lies that you'll ever be told is going to be told by your family.
Oh my goodness.
Some of the greatest heartbreak that you're going to go through is not going to be from people on the streets. It's not going to be from people talking about you. It's not going to be from what we call quote unquote haters or ops. It's going to be from people that you share blood with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really makes me concerned. And it really breaks my... I don't even know if people even understand what the word family means anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I look at family that's actually family. And I look at family and I'll be like, bruh, I don't know these people. For real. For real. We ain't the same. Y'all weird to me. I don't behave like that. I isolate myself from anything that doesn't represent who I am. I don't care who it is, because I like positivity. Once you get to my age, and I am 48, about to be 49, and once you get to a place where you have fought for peace in the middle of the storm, baby, you're not going to bring a storm to destroy my peace. Oh. We gonna have to go 30. Now you about to make me take penitentiary chances because I fought too hard for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really sad when you see... I admire people when I can look at them and they have big, beautiful families and they doing family Do you know, in all of the 48 years of my life, my family has never done a family reunion. Never. Do you know why? Because every time they get together, it's got to be who shot John and why.
Mm-hmm.
And when. Mind you, all of this stuff happened 3 million years ago. 3 million. But every time we get together, somebody got to still bring it back up. It's like it's wars going on within the family. Like anytime you step in a room with family, you on enemy territory. When the family but people used to hang... You remember when we used to hang signs in the house that say at home is where the heart is?
Mm-hmm.
No, we need to recreate some of those that say home is where the heartbreak is.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the brokenness that a lot of people deal with right now, a lot of the fear of rejection, a lot of the pain of rejection, a lot of the isolation, a lot of the insecurity, a lot of the negative words and the negative self-belief about themselves, a lot of that came from things that was heard and done in your childhood from your family. It didn't come from outside. Because it's easy to deal with people on the outside talking about you and mistreating you. It's hard to deal with it when it's coming from your family. But when you got to deal with it from your family and then turn around and deal with it from the outside, then it's like a double whammy because I don't get a break nowhere. So now I'm breaking everywhere. It's crazy. What y'all got to say?
I think also as well, and to add to, I think where we've broken down is in our as people across cultural lines, we fail to instill value. I remember in various different homes, one of the things that was said is no, you're not going out of here with those clothes on. You're not going out of here without combing your hair. It wasn't about you. It was about us and the value that we instill in this family, because it was clearly said, you're not about to go out here and embarrass us and this family. It wasn't a individual thing. It was saying it's value here in this home. You're going to respect it and you're going to take it out there into the world. Now it's kind of like fend for yourself.
You remember the day and age when girls, when they wanted to wear their little hot girl outfit in school, they had to put it in their book bag and take it to school, then go to the bathroom and change clothes back in the bathroom, because there was no way your mama or daddy was letting you leave out the house with them clothes on. Now you look at the young ladies, the way they go to middle school, and you looking like, how old are you? 12. 12 where? With that on? Ain't no way. Even if we got grown and acted like we never had any sense of morals or standards or moral compass at all, when we was in the house with mama, baby mama wasn't playing that. Talking bad. What do you mean talking bad? Disrespectful. Baby, you was gonna be finding your way up out the floor like still right now. Like, what do you mean? Somewhere we lost the respect. We lost respect for parents. Parents somehow lost respect for children. Now, won't say respect. They lost love for children. The family structure, you got relatives that people don't even talk to. It was impossible to live in a state with your family at one point and y'all not constantly be together, spending time together, talking, slumber parties. Now, people got relatives live 3 blocks away and they talk to them once a year. We have really somehow broken down. And these are conversations that I think we need to have. If we're going to talk about toxicity, I'm one of those who feel we got to go to the root. What's the root? I think the root of it all is the family structure. Families got lax. You know, all the music that we were talking about listening to, all that toxic music. See, some of us had parents, you wasn't playing that in the house. What do you mean? Baby, the only way you was playing that music is if you was at school around your friends. But mama better not get a call from the teacher saying you was playing it. Mama better not get a call from the principal saying you was playing it. But all of that changed.
You know, with what Progressive said about, the values that was taught in the house, and you can't go out. When you go out, you represent the family. This, that, and other. That was good. That was good on one end, but what was cutting it down at the same time was what goes on in this house stays in this house mantra.
Absolutely.
And because that did more damage, because you mean to tell me I got to, when your uncle or your big cousin or your somebody is violating me, and I'm trying to tell that and you tell me, you make me think that, I'm lying, or you sweep it under the rug, and I can't tell this. You threaten me, so now I got to grow up. On one hand, then you tell me I got to dress right, I got to talk right, and but I'm so my young mind, I can't. I'm growing up with this stuff that happened, and it's happening not just to me, but it's happening to, unbeknownst to me, to my little cousins and my sister and all we growing up with this mess, and sometimes it's repressed, but then you get to a certain age and you have a total recall. Now I'm damaged, and now I'm finna start damaging others. Now I'm finna start, ruining my family, some other family. You know what I mean? It just spread.
Right.
And I think that right there was also a big factor of this toxicity in society now, that what goes on in this house stays in this house.
See, and definitely, that was definitely one of those sayings that definitely should not have started. And I think that was where you had generational toxicity creeping in, because as
Mm-hmm.
good as our generation was, it had its own toxicity that peeked through as well, such as what
Mm-hmm.
happens in this house stays in this house, and various other sayings that I'm pretty sure each one has on their list. But at the end of the day, and looking at this structure, there is that thing that I really feel like it's that value. Like, people had a value system instilled in them, even with the thing mentioned, like the latchkey kids, that instilled confidence in a child. It shouldn't have had to be like that, but unfortunately it was. But that instilled confidence in that child, that called that child to take accountability. Even with the instance, like I mentioned as well, as far as food on the table, like, you're gonna eat what's on this table, you're not gonna eat at all. Someone from the outside looking in would probably say, "Hey, why would you punish that child like that?" Or, "We need to get the authorities to know this child needs to understand at this level, at this age, before they become an adult, that you have to be grateful for the things that you have, because some days it may be a hamburger day, and some days it may be a steak day, but you be grateful for what you have." That's why you see the difference between, I think, like, our generation and current generation across cultural lines. Individuals, have not been introduced to a real value system, and they feel like everything that they get, they're supposed to have, which is the difference in our generation. We're grateful for the things that we get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing that I thought about, and I kind of retract something that I said, because I made the statement, we haven't always been like this. And in thinking about it, the fact of the matter probably is that we have always been like this. I think we're just in an era where, because everything is on social media, and you got social media story times ever since Risa Tisa came out with um Who the F Did I Marry? Baby, everybody coming out with their story times, from family drama to ex drama and all kind of drama. But I think now, because we have social media, it's really being seen, the torture and torment that a lot of people have had to endure. Not only that, when you listen to majority of these heinous and atrocious unaliving cases that you see, the first thing that they say when they're talking about the criminal is, "Oh, they had a horrible childhood. They were abused. They were, SA. They were this. They were that." And it makes you sit back and ask, like, what the hell is y'all doing to these kids?
Man.
But this is what happens when we get the order backwards.
Yeah.
When we have children, before husband love your wife as Christ loved the church, and wives submit to your husband as unto God, Then children obey your parents and the Lord. We get the order out of whack. Why do you have children before you have love and submission? Now you got children who are growing up who don't know how to love or submit because it wasn't exhibited in front of them because we didn't go in order.
Mhm. And also how
We
you
broke
got,
the cycle and created another one. Go ahead, Zach.
not to cut you off, but and another thing that was out of order was when um, the courts became dictators in the home as well. You know, they start making these laws to where, all right, it's abuse to discipline a child, but then but then when that child gets into some stuff and some criminal stuff, now it's where was the parent? So they created this catch-22, you know, and they made it legal to me, and they made it legal to cause disruption in the family from the legal standpoint, the societal standpoint. You know, I think that had a lot to do because that when you remember when they started talking about, you know, kids was reporting reporting their parents. I'm gonna call them people. You can't touch me. You can't touch me. So
Yeah.
it took the parents' hands off, but then it set the family up because when that kid got into some trouble, where was y'all at? Now,
Yeah.
you know, you see what I'm saying? So that's another thing that was out of order.
I absolutely agree with you. And the catch 2020 of it is, like you said, the fact that a lot of that had to be put in place was because there was too many parents that went too far.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be disciplining your kids to redirect them, and you damn near lynching them. Kids barely making it out half alive. Kids running away from home. All of the stuff that these kids had to endure at home. Now all of a sudden a law has to be created that if you put your hands on your kids, you're going to jail. Because so many sick, twisted individuals decided to give birth to children just to mistreat them.
And
And
that
all this
caught up.
time, we didn't know a lot of this was going on in households because of exactly what y'all said. What happens in the house, stay in the
Stable.
house. So kids were scared to let people know, you know what, I'm like damn near on death's door living in this house because what happens in this house, stay in this house. And you better not tell nobody what happens in my house or else.
Yeah. They should, you know, but they made that they took those cases and made a blanket law instead of taking those cases case by because you had parents that weren't going to those extremes, that were just, you know, raising their kids, you know, but they got penalized too, as if, you know, they were, you know, the monster parent when they weren't, or some kids just because they wanted to be defiant, they lied.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, but I'm saying, yeah, there was some atrocious stuff because, you know, I know I've had some whoopings that, you know, hey, wait a minute, that wasn't no regular.
Listen.
That was abuse. But, you know, we was in a different dispensation then. But
we are a whole
so
different one.
I know. So I know, you know, what that, but it's like you would think the legal system, the court system, where they say, you know, innocent until proven guilty, we got to get to the, you know, to the facts, you know, and all this. No, y'all didn't get to the facts. So y'all took some cases that were true, that were atrocities, but y'all lumped in the parents that were, you know, were doing what they, what they were morally created to do: take care of their kids, discipline their kids, not letting their kids be out here wild. So
Right.
that's where I say they messed up. Not that some people need to be, because I was locked up with a guy. He this dude he terrorized his family, his wife, kids, because he believed he took John MacArthur's commentary. He didn't take the Bible and twist it. He used John MacArthur's commentary to say John MacArthur was he was getting from John MacArthur that he was supposed to do what he was doing to his family, not just one
Wow.
time but multiple times. He was man. They had locked him up for a long time because he was a terror on his family. So I know there's people
Wow.
that need to be locked up, but but not, you just don't blanket everybody based off a few.
And that's the crazy and sad part about it. The state that I was in, when I realized how screwed up our system is when it came to kids. The way my grandson came to be. I put my daughter, she was 15, and I put her on the 5-year plan. I think it's the neural plan, whatever in your arm. So one day she come to me, she like, Mama, I don't feel good. Now, the crazy thing about this daughter is she never gets sick. Like when I say never gets sick, she never gets sick. The only time she's gotten sick, she's been an adult. But when she was a kid, I never had to take her to the doctor for antibiotics. Didn't have to take her to the doctor to get nothing. She just didn't get sick. So I'm like, if she's saying something wrong, I need to take her to the hospital. Take her to the hospital. Now, mind you, my daughter is like really, really tiny. I call her my little hood Barbie. So when she was taking off her clothes to put on the hospital robe, I looked at her stomach and I'm like, nah, can't be. So I blew it off. Nurse come in and she like, what's going on? So my daughter was like, I'm having stomach pain. So the nurse like, okay, well, do you think you can be pregnant? So I spoke up immediately. Hell no, I done put her on the 5-year plan. What you mean pregnant? Ain't no, she can't be pregnant. So the nurse like, okay, well, we gonna do a test just to make sure. I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna cause pregnant, who? So the nurse come back in the room after a while. My daughter ain't said nothing. Nurse come back in the room. She's like, well, I've got some good news for you. No. What she said was, well, we're going to take you to get an ultrasound because your test came back positive. So I hear it. Congratulations. I'm like, ma'am, wait a minute. We're not just going to roll past that. Like you didn't just say what you just said. What you mean? Pregnant. So I look over at my daughter because I know good and damn well you got a 5-year plan in your arm. There's no way you should be pregnant. So when the nurse walked out the room, she came out and told me that she went to Planned Parenthood. And Planned Parenthood allowed the removal without my permission. So when I started studying the statutes in the state, I realized that in the state that I was living in, the statutes are, I want to say at the age of 12 years old, a girl is able to make the decisions on her body. So if you think your 12-year-old is being sexually active and you want to take that 12-year-old to get tested or get put on birth control, they're going to tell you to get out the room so that they can ask the 12-year-old what they want for their body, which, like you said, is extremely twisted because at the end of the day, at 12 years old, if you get pregnant because y'all done gave this child all these rights, they can't even get a job to take care of the baby. So at that point, whose responsibility does it become? It becomes the parent, just like you said.
Yep.
But you want to put all the rights in the hands of somebody, as the old folk would say, ain't got sense enough to come in out the rain without being told. Or even older than that, without a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out.
Yeah.
But you want to put all the rights and responsibility into the hands of the children. So now you have a generation of children who know how to play the system.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell one of them kids, I'm going to call the police on you. They're going to tell you, go ahead. They're not going to do nothing.
Yep. I see it every day.
Hold on one second,
maybe,
y'all.
maybe that'd be one. Maybe that's one of the major catalysts for the possible breakdown. Is when the government came into play and started, for all intents and purposes, taking the place of the parent, telling you, no, now you can't correct in this manner. And I understand the difference between abuse and discipline, and we all do, respectfully. But I'm saying for individuals who had that in place and were helping children to understand how the world works and helping them to be well-rounded individuals. Because if you have a child that starts off with a bad process, that child grows up and becomes an adult that's unleashed upon the world that's had a bad process. But nobody stood up and said, well, no, you're not going to tell me what to do in my home with our children. It's kind of like the government said, that's it. Not just with that. Also, with taking prayer out of school. We had prayer in school.
There you go.
And things like that. So there's a number of things that contributed to the breakdown, but I think those are two of the major things.
Yeah. You ain't lying. That prayer is a powerful key.
And then too, as well, entitlement. And I don't know where that came from, though.
Well, that came in like a flood.
Like you owe me this. No, I really don't owe you anything. I'm a person on a life path just like you. Now, by far chance, if we for all intents and purposes have a same path experience, then I can contribute to you and you can contribute to me. But we're not just throwing it in the wind.
I think that entitlement, because that did just it just seemed like it just crept in. Was it because of when we was on lockdown and they was giving out the stimulus checks? I don't know what, because it seemed like right after that, it just did a big shift, and everybody from old to young, it's like, you got to give me something. You got to do it at the expense of yourself. I don't know where that came from. That just came in.
Hey,
like,
y'all, I'm back.
Huh?
I said I'm back.
Oh, no, we was talking about aggressive. He mentioned about that another part of that, this entitlement that crept in, and I'm like, where did that come from? Did it come? I think it came with COVID and them stimulus checks or something. Because it seemed like right after that, everybody just feel like, a lot of people just feel like they entitled to something without minimal effort. From old to young.
It's like the saying goes, nothing exceeds like access. Sometimes the more you have to be a detriment to you versus it being an asset to you.
Yeah.
And once family across cultural lines, once families got more, then they start doing. And that's not a bad thing, but when you're doing more, you're not explaining where it's coming from, how it takes to get it. Then you have a generation of people who feel like these things are supposed to happen for me. I'm supposed to eat this. I'm supposed to eat what I want to eat. I'm supposed to live. No, that thing and those things happen by way of individuals going through the proper process to get there and to make it happen. It don't just fall into your lap. Just as you say you my people don't mean you my people.
Yeah.
But if you show me, your actions show me that, then it is my duty to then yield to you of myself.
Yeah.
But that's not the standard that's set anymore. It's like, give it to me just because. No, I ain't come from that generation.
Yeah, I have. And welcome in, Father Lot. Are
Father
you
Lock
in?
in the
Did I
building.
add
Well,
you
hey
in?
yo, everybody. How's
Going on for
everybody
the
doing? I hope everybody's doing good on this Friday night.
What's happening,
Yes,
all
brother?
is well.
wonderful,
Good.
wonderful.
Wonderful. That makes me
So
very
we
happy. How's
talking about
everybody doing?
these broken families and when the family structure broke down, and we're talking about this broken system that has seemingly given these children all of the power.
hmm I
So
agree.
what you
But
think
I
about it?
did get a chance to, well, as I was coming into the studio, I did get a chance to hear who was talking before about when the stimulus check came. And I agree. It seemed as if when we were on lockdown during the pandemic and they wanted to give us a little relief package or whatever as far as the stimulus check is concerned, it seemed like that's when everybody became entitled. Like, if the government giving it to me, you should give it to me too. It's like I don't want to work for it. It should be given to me. It's like the pandemic is over. Go get a job. Go take care of yourself. And that to me is when a lot of these young people and young adults as well start feeling like nothing is earned. It should just be given to me. I'm due it. You should give it to me just because I'm me. And it's crazy. I agree with you. It seemed like when the stimulus checks went around, we came out this pandemic, mindsets was changed, work ethic was changed, the way people do stuff was changed. It's like everything was this complete change. Like we entered a new universe that was no longer ours.
Yeah.
Again, you had something that took place when the pandemic took place, which was something that we all had in our era, which was we had to face our choices. I don't care if I don't know if it's ever happened to anybody else, but a very, very transparent moment. I went in the store and I was a little child and I wanted this particular toy. She said we couldn't get the toy. Mom was like, no, we ain't going. So I took the initiative upon myself to put the toy into my pocket. She didn't only just take me home and corrected how our respective household corrected it. She made me go back in, tell what I did, and apologize.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? They made them. They made us face our choices, and I
Oh,
believe on
brother.
a very valiant point that Empress made a while back, as far as the pandemic is concerned, is it forced people to deal with their choices. Now you can't run. This is the wife you chose. This is the husband you chose. This is the family that you're in. Now what you gonna do?
Yep,
That start breaking down the family. Now I have to
it
deal
did.
with my choices.
It did. You saw it all in the on Facebook statuses. You saw it all in TikTok. Folks, oh, I'm stuck here, this and that, and oh, I didn't know how he was until this pandemic came. Now I'm in the house with him every day, and it's like, oh no, and it's like, how long y'all been together, and you just not figuring this out?
And
Yes, because
it's a rude awakening.
the only thing that they were together for was how good they were when they was laying down.
Yep.
They didn't stop and think about how the relationship was gonna be when you got back up. See, we don't think that far into relationships, and I'm starting to understand now. And I'm not saying I'm perfect and I do everything right. Look, I have glitches too.
None of us do. None
I
of
be
us
needing a
do.
matrix upgrade as well. But what I'm saying is, you no longer have people who are. How many people do you see reaching for a relationship who are
Thank
literally
you.
out there saying, I want a relationship, I want a husband, I want a wife, I want something that's going to have longevity? You don't hear that no more. Go on social media. Either you're seeing individuals who have been married for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, or you seeing hoes. It's one
Yep.
extreme or the other. Or you seeing
It's no
people who
midpoint.
just want to be single and don't want to be bothered with it at all.
You're right. It's either black or white.
Don't
There's
forget,
no gray area.
don't forget the new age that has been had as well. They're
Oh
also
my
in a
God, say that
polyamorous
again, bro.
relationship. So if you get a toxic man who now has two women, now it's literally speeding up the system of the broken family. Because if he's
Yeah,
broken, he of course he's going to make them broken, and vice versa. If
yeah,
it's a poly situation where it's female dominant, it's still going to create the same reaction. Now you're going to create a toxic male, which is going to create again toxic family.
yeah. Creating a toxic family.
And now you got families with 4 people in one relationship.
Shit.
Yeah.
Talk about toxicity.
Right.
That's the new thing. We gonna get to a place where being married is ancient history. We're gonna get to a place where being humans and married is the oddity. And we're gonna get
Yeah.
to a place where what was the other one I just thought of? Being human. Yeah, them the two I can think of right now. We gonna get to a place where that's gonna be strange in the future. The
Yep.
simple
Being
thought
human,
of a
having human
man and a
quality,
woman.
wanting human
Yeah,
relationship,
yeah.
all of that. You're gonna look like you're an outcast.
Because
Humanity,
everybody
human
Yeah.
gonna want
touch.
a robot.
Right.
Everybody gonna want a robot. I see it coming. I watch the movie. See,
I
I'm
want a
different
dog
when I
robot.
watch movies. When I
Uh-huh.
when I watch movies, I always watch movies because I get a message out of them.
That was the purpose
I
of you
want to
to watch
see.
it.
I want to see exactly what it is that you trying to say to me without saying to me what you trying to
Yeah,
say to me in this
that's all
movie.
it is. It's a way of saying it without saying it verbal. Don't say I didn't say it because you wasn't smart enough to catch on to what you were thinking.
You wasn't able to catch it. So I'm
Right.
looking
I
stuff
totally
like
agree.
when I watched Antebellum, it made me think of all the black women who have disappeared, just vanished, and they
Yeah,
without a trace.
yeah.
And I'm like, they better start searching some of these woods for some colonization encampments or something, because I feel like there's truth in every single movie. All the movies that we saw with robots, iRobot, Terminator, um, the show I mentioned on the live yesterday
Antebellum.
with the girl
Mm-hmm.
who got the robot, and her friend ended up sleeping with the robot because she thought it was a real man.
Mm-hmm.
All of these movies has really been foretelling the future. It's going to
Yep.
become strange to see a human with a human. Watch.
You can go way back to like the movies back in the day. Don't you remember the movie Demon Seed when that lady got pregnant by that robot?
Yep.
Mm.
Do you
Yeah.
remember the movie Stepford Wives when all the wives were robotic?
Stepford Wives. Yep.
I was just talking about Stepford Wives.
Come on, they've been telling us
That's what
about
they're trying to
robotic people
create.
for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Seeing
And that's
people
the
like
thing.
you. Oh, I should say people like us. It's more than just you and me in the chat that's wise and awake. We
Yeah.
know what to look for.
Movies like one day I'm gonna have to figure out how to do a movie night. We probably gonna have to do it on Discord or something, maybe Twitch. I don't know, but it's a movie called Surrogate, and I constantly talk about it. I want y'all to see it, but it's with Bruce Willis, and they basically live out their lives through this VR set. They're not allowed to have
Oh yeah!
human
Oh my God, Empress!
interaction.
I
Like,
forgot about
yeah,
surrogate.
they're not allowed to have like,
They
intimacy
can't.
with
Yeah,
another human.
they can't have no intimacy with humans, no type of interaction.
No. So they be married. So literally, if you're my husband, we only have interaction through the VR set, but we don't live in the same house. That's literally how the movie is. And the more that I see come out with these robots and come out with AI, in my head, I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
Here it
you know
comes.
what else, Empress? Another film that does that. Minority Report.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you remember the
With the
scene
three
where he had to
cops.
put on the VR thing and he said there's no human touch during sex? And he was like, this is weird. She said, since the breakouts of AIDS and all this, no human fluids, transfer fluids, this is how we have sex now. And he put on that VR thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow. It's been in the
How they-
movies
how he
all
was-
along.
How he
It
was
is interesting.
touching stuff, holograms and moving it to see what stuff was. Don't we got holograms? Don't they got holograms?
Yeah.
People having hologramic concerts with people that then passed on having holograms of them on stage performing.
I saw it was a show, and I don't know why I stopped watching it because it was good. But it made you think of the Masked Singer, but it was with the holographic performers. You get to come on stage as this holograph, but you're actually
Mm-hmm.
in the back and you're singing, but they don't know who you are unless like you get voted off. Then you have to reveal who you
Who you
are. So
really
it's
are,
just like Masked Singer, but it's with
but
like
with
a
holograms.
holographic, character. It was so cool and neat to me. See, I'm a techie to my heart, so I love the way we are progressing. I just also see the danger in it, and I understand human error. And
But see, that's
anytime
where
we
you come
touch
in
stuff,
at.
we mess it up.
But that's where
Well,
you and I, the people that take part into that type of stuff, and a tech, because me too, I'm a tech. Well, you know that, Empress. We share each other's content. We watch each other. You know, I'm a tech freak. That's all I like to do. CG this, video, green screen
Yeah.
that, visual this, visuals that. But we know how far to take it. It's almost very much akin to saying when somebody who's into dark art or want to exhibit, do documentaries and stuff. Observe the dark realm, but be not of it. Observe the tech, observe the AI, but be not of it. You can observe, but you don't have to be of it. Go deep down. You go too far. See, that's what people say. There's levels. You keep
Yeah,
at the start.
because at the end of the day, I use Chat GPT all the time. I use Chat, but
Me
I'm
too.
not gonna I'm not gonna fall in love with the little character who be helping me on Chat GPT.
Okay.
Somehow we've slipped
Thank
into
you.
a dimension where people don't understand the difference between virtual reality and real life, that they're blurring the lines, that you're falling in love with a chat bot in your phone and you
It's
think you're
almost
in a
like
relationship
because
with this person.
it's almost like the movie Her, when he fell in love with that computer lady.
if you
Have
have
you ever
no
seen the movie Her?
I haven't.
Oh my
no,
God, Empress, she was like a helper, like Siri or Google or Alexa, and he fell in love with her, and she fell in love with him, and
Wow.
it's like the way that the movie is going, the way the movie go, it really, really like try to get you to bait into the motion of yes, they should be together. It almost make you wipe out the fact that he's falling in love with a robot, a voice, a computerized thing that was created to say everything it's saying to you. It's not saying it from a genuine place. It's saying it out of a programmed setting.
Right.
And he still fell in love with it.
that's because people have no. When you have um, no knowledge, no relationship with the spiritual, you're
Thank you
gonna
so
you're gonna fall in love with
much.
the virtual and all that. You guys, y'all can use this stuff for what it is because y'all have a buffer,
Yeah,
which is y'all have a consciousness towards God. Y'all know about the creator of all
thank you.
things. You see what I'm
Thank you.
saying? So you're not going to be, because you know that what's behind that is the dark side.
Yeah,
So, but a lot of people, that's where a lot of people is falling to this stuff because they have no, like the scripture that says, the God of this world has blinded the minds of them that don't believe.
hmm
Right.
This is what it's talking about.
yeah. He said he would leave you to your depravities. I will wipe away everything from me and leave you to your depravities in your mind. He will give you a reprobated mind. He want only your depravities and nothing else. And I've watched him do that to people.
Yep.
That all they think about is they depraved nature of nasty things to do and nothing else. They don't have no remorse. They don't have no conscience, no conviction about it, because all of that is of God. I keep telling people, conviction is God's way of telling you not to do something. You feel bad. Okay, I shouldn't do this. I feel bad. That's a way to people. Then that's wiped away from people.
Yeah.
Shame is wiped away now. Oh, ain't no shame in my game. So,
Yeah.
there is a level of shame you should have that will keep your moral compass shined and polished. We
Yeah.
all got that ability to go to some filthy places, but do I need to go to those places? We all got our minds. All our minds can go to places that shouldn't go. That's what the mind does. You
Yeah.
just know how
A
to
lot of
steer
us
your
had
mind.
those parents in our
Thank
lives
you.
that
Thank
gave
you.
us a compass. A
That's
lot
all.
of
Yeah.
this new generation, they don't have parents giving them a compass. They have parents telling them to chase the bag. They
You're
have
right.
parents like Ronnie and Players Club telling them to use your body to get what you want.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You
I
know,
need to
And we
use
got
what I
parents
got to
that
get
give their
what I
kids
want.
all these electronic gadgets and let that raise them
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
nowadays.
See,
That's what you're talking
and
about.
and
Yeah,
then
you
and
moved
then
away from the family structure.
and then as well, in the midst of going back to that point, because I think it's valid now. Speaking of the pandemic again, and also speaking of how you all were speaking of the mind, all of you in your own respective right. There is a number of people after that pandemic who is now not just dealing with mental instability, but like literally a psychotic break. Because
Yeah.
it's one thing for you to get a surprise, but a surprise like thinking your family is the Huxtables, only to realize that
Mm.
you got the family from married with children. That's something that literally caused people to break, and then individuals who got comfortable and said, "Man, I finally got a break. I don't have to go in and punch this clock." And by the time they felt like they was getting a break and they was getting back to themselves, then the rat race began again, and those
Mm-hmm.
individuals went back psychotically broken. And they're in the workforce, they're in relationships, they're in families, they're in pulpits, etc., etc.
And I agree with
Yeah.
you. And the
Yeah.
reason I believe another reason of why, well, adding to what you said, because it's pretty much a big pyramid of things that are broken down to subgenres. When you said that about, because I don't want to forget, about um, when the pandemic started, how people start going through these mental breaks, these emotional breaks. And the reason why that is because it's a shame that they put value in things that the pandemic made them not able to do no more. They can't go do this. They can't do, and it's like it was almost killing these people that they couldn't go out and do stuff that they shouldn't even wanted to do anyway.
Yeah.
I heard people in TikTok like, "Oh my God, I haven't been able to go to the club and have a drink." And this, you act like you can't go to the liquor store and drink at home. Like you literally have to be at a club just to enjoy having a drink. Like, what is wrong?
Yep, because that's where they find their validation at. We have a
Yeah.
whole generation of young people who are so thirsty and craved
For some type of
for
cloud.
for some kind of validation.
Yeah.
And they feel like validation has to come from other people. No, validation comes from within you.
Thank you. That's why I
It
mean,
has to come from within. But that's why the girls dress the way they do, because they want
Mhm.
validation. That's
Yeah.
why we got BBLs and breast lifts and tuck that and cut this and lift that. And girls addicted. I've watched girls who literally say they are addicted to plastic surgery. Just
Yeah,
enough
I
is
hear it.
never
I
enough,
hear it all the time.
because you want validation.
And
Everything is for validation.
And what's crazy, Empress, a lot of the time it's the celebrities that even make them think that. Because I hear these celebrities say that I'm addicted to plastic surgery. I don't think I would ever
Yeah.
stop. And it's like, what more can you do to alter yourself to the point where you don't even look like you? And it's like, do all of you all go to the same plastic surgeon because he giving y'all all the same face?
They trying to
Let
look
me
like
tell
them
you.
robots.
Oh,
Because thank you. Thank you. The cloning of all people with the same looks, all of them want the same blonde face, blonde hair, all of them want the same fillers in their face. It's almost like, how a race of people, they all look the same, like Chinese people, they all got the same look, Asian
Yep.
people, Japanese people. And in their culture, they don't even have the mindset to know what it means to be outside there as their own separate individual. Like if you ask me, who do I want to look like? What does my ideal look? They have no idea what to tell you that is, because they mimic to look like one simple. This is why they all have the same Chinese haircut, that bang haircut. They don't have a sense of individuality, and
The
that's what they're doing
celebrities
to us
are the
here in
celebrities
our
are the
nation.
robots.
Yeah, they are the robot. They're the debaters. It's like
Yep.
we're the fish and they're the
Debater.
worm.
Yep.
And people who
Yeah.
think that that's what it takes for validation, people think that's what it takes to make it. That's what it takes for a man to want you. Because, of course, this is what's being shown. Men only go after the people with the BBLs. Men only go after people with the big succulent breasts. Men only go after people with the long hair, with false lashes, with this and that and the other. And my whole thing is this. How you say you want a natural woman who got on everything she bought from a store? That's not natural.
Right.
Natural is what before she put it all on. Now that's the woman I want. Now you go doll yourself up and become this beauty queen, yes, but understand who you are before you become her.
Mhm.
No, you was her before you gave her a look. You was her before you gave her the face you gave her. Before the look you gave her. No, that's the woman I want. That made up lady, she's good for the outside for those who looking at you. I already got you. I don't give a fuck if you never put that shit on. I got you already.
Right.
That's for everybody else. And for your own self-beautification. Doll yourself up.
Yeah.
But don't doll yourself up to the point where you forget that's not what you actually look like. I see them wear it and then make fun of women that don't have on a lot of makeup or want to wear their natural look. And it's like, did you forget that's not your face? You need to go thank Maybelline, Estee Lauder, MAC, Elf, and all them other girls that's on your face. Because hers
But you
came
know
from
what
her mother
happened
and
is
father.
a lot of them girls came from homes with mothers who all they heard all day is you ugly, you dumb,
Yep.
you stupid,
Yep.
with your black
Yep.
ass, with your dumb
Yep.
ass, with your ugly ass. You ain't never gonna be shit. You ain't never gonna be nothing. And those
Yep.
kids internalize
Yep.
that. And when they got
We
some
gotta
money,
get right on those. You're right, Empress.
now
I
that
agree.
now that I got some money,
You're right.
I'm finna fix the very things that you told me was a problem with me.
And
Again,
then
because I didn't have anybody to hand
to
me
tell
a
me I
moral
was
compass
pretty.
or teach me about self-love or how to even love myself or what about me I should be valuing. They didn't
Or
have
have a
anybody to
sense,
teach them to
or
value
teach
themselves.
me to value my sense of self-expression. Self-expression is just what that is. I might not want to doll up. This is the way I wish to express myself. I don't want to wear all that. I don't want to do all that. I'm happy with just what I have. And for you to do that to your own children and have your babies grow up with a complex, and then they go and make these alterations, and then you down them for the very alterations for the complex you gave them.
Mhm.
You see, why would you go do that to yourself? Well, mama, you told me that didn't mean you had to go do it. I could have called you ugly all day. That don't mean you go change yourself because I called you ugly. Well, why wouldn't she? You're her mother. She would take all the care of what you thought of her. You created her. Why would
Yeah.
she think the very woman that created me and gave me everything that I have think that is ugly? Well, I got it all from you. I didn't create me. Did you forget that?
Mm-hmm. That's
And
why
then
when
for
my
you,
kids were growing up, my kids always heard me, "You so pretty. You are so gorgeous. You so handsome, son. I love you, son." That's my one of my sons, I tell him he's my champion, because he plays basketball and he's autistic. And my
oh,
other son, I tell him he's my hero because he's in Air Force. He's in the military. So they're my champion and my hero. My girls is always beauty queens and gorgeous and all, because I don't ever want you to have to feel like you got to hear that from somebody else. I've seen so many girls fall for men, fall for messed up situations just because he told her she was beautiful and she hadn't heard it before. That little bit of attention made her mess up her whole life
yeah,
over somebody who was just trying to get the putty tat.
yeah.
I think also as well,
And that's so
one of the
sad
things
because it's like,
one of the things that
oh,
caused
I'm
the
sorry. Go right
breakdown.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh my bad. Oh my bad.
Oh, no, no,
I
no.
think
No,
one
I
of
go
the
was
ahead.
just
things.
reiterating what she said. But if you have something to say, please go ahead because I've been running my mouth. I'm wanting to hear somebody else's opinion.
No worries. One of the things, well, that I think that perhaps was the whole foundation as far as boundaries is concerned. There's no boundaries being set anymore. So with the boundaries not being set and the market being moved, then that changed the whole narrative. Inside of the principles, it says that wisdom be the principal thing. Also, I'm going to pair with that. It says it may be lawful, but not expedient.
Mm-hmm.
So wisdom, while you're
Mm,
training up your daughter, man, hey, you do need to tell her about the game, but you need to have boundaries with it. See, but that's the thing that does not happen. You're not telling her, hey, look out for this, look out for that. You're saying, hey, look out for this, look out for that. If you do this, then he got money. Then you do this. It says that wisdom be the principal thing. And even if it may be seem lawful for you to do, it's not expedient. And that's evident in the world that we live in because you have a number of kids out here who are unleashed upon the world who have no boundaries and they have foolish parents.
case in point. You've made your case and your point. I totally agree. Case in point. I agree because
It's
to
crazy.
me, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Empress, or whomever that was. Oh, okay.
She might be
Well,
kicked back.
oh, for me, like to me, it's like when I see a mother who does this to their children, being their male children or the female children or both, it it makes me think: is she taking out on these babies some type of problem or disdain or some form of self-aggrandizement that she has with the father of these kids? Or is there some form of jealousy because what your daughter is, you weren't? Or it, because I don't understand you downing your children and making them feel less than. I mean, these are your jewels. These they came from you. It only makes me feel like you don't think high of yourself because this is why you don't think high of me. I came from you. So if I'm anything less than what you value me to be, well, I came from you. So if I'm a nickel, you're a nickel. Last
But
time I
again,
checked, quarters don't make nickels until you break it.
and having to face those choices. That's why I believe, and I believe it's a great trend and all with this whole prom thing where they're going like all out extravagantly on these proms, and some people even going into debt. I think one of the
Yeah,
things that happened in the breakdown of
yeah,
the family as well is a term that we've all heard before, and it's called a midlife crisis. You have a
yeah.
number of elders, not just parents, but also grandparents trying to live
Mm-hmm,
vicariously through their
mm-hmm,
children and or
mm-hmm.
grandchildren. First of all, hey, I understand you go out, have a good time, but I don't need for you to be in the club that's not your age range, trying to hang with individuals that ain't even in your age bracket.
All right.
How about focus on your education?
Thank you so much. What's
How
wrong with
about sit
education
down with your
nowadays?
children and plan a 5-year plan?
That's too
What do
much
you
like
want to
right.
do with your life? Where do you want to go with your life?
Nowhere.
What
That's too much
direction do
like
you
work.
see after high school? What do you want to go to college? Everybody don't want to go to college. If you don't want to go to college, what's your plan? Do you want to get a job? What kind of job do you want to get? Well, what's the criteria in order to be able to get that job? Are you going to need experience? Do you want to go into the military? I honestly believe that every child after graduating high school, if they do not go into college, should spend at least 2 years in the military getting some discipline. It's a damn shame that we got the leadership that we have. And that's across the board. Democrats
Yep.
marching out and leaving. I ain't never seen no stuff like this. This world is screwed, just chopped and screwed. However, these kids need a plan. There's no plan. We're leaving our kids to figure it out on their own. Here's the maze. The cheese is on this side. Smell your way through. And if you don't make it, it's your fault.
Come on.
Have
It's
you ever
literally like in on the subject, but a little bit off the subject. That's the thing too, where it's the breakdown of the family, I believe. And we've said it all before, but I'm gonna repeat it again. There's no longer the village. Now it's just me and mine. Now I had male mentors outside of my dad, and I had a very great dad. But I had males that came in my life and said, "Hey, this is how you do this. This is how you do this. This is how you talk to a young lady. This is how you carry yourself. This is how you speak. This is how you move in certain rooms." That's something that's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
because there's no leadership. Like when we talk about those elders, baby, them elders is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Gone. Majority of the people with and the people with standards ain't speaking up.
No.
They just sit back and say, you know what, that's them. As if they tired, they over it, they done. Baby, what you gonna do is with your life is what you gonna do with your life. We gave children choices, and a lot of this is Gen X fault with this new generation. Because these are our
Mm-hmm.
children.
Yeah.
We gave them options. We let them decide if they want to get up and go to church or if they don't want to go to church. We let them decide if they want to get up and go to school and if they don't want to go to school. We let them decide what direction they want to take for we let them decide whether they want to be out all night selling drugs, stealing cars. Then we let them bring the money in the house and give it to you so you can get you a new Gucci bag and get your hair and nails done so that you can look like you belong on Love and Hip Hop some damn where. And we no longer have those mentors in the home or in the street. Y'all remember the Big Brother, Big Sister program?
I do.
Mhm.
I used to be a
You
part of it.
you ain't got Big Sister, Big Brother in the home no more, less known in the street.
And you got Burger King at home. You got mamas and cooking. This kid don't eat this. This kid don't eat that. This kid don't eat this. You got to be down there juggling meals all day. We
They'd
didn't
be
grow up like that.
starving.
You better eat
They'd
what
be
you what
starving
was
growing up
cooked,
in my house.
and you better not touch nothing better not go in my refrigerator.
Better
And
not.
again, in that
Do
process,
not
that
play that.
instilled something in you. That instilled a sense of gratitude in you. That
Yeah,
also made you respect sacrifice. Because
yeah,
I remember instances where my parents, because it was an instance of where we had money and then we did have money. But in
yeah.
those
Yeah.
times where we didn't have money, I still felt like we was rich with that bologna and cheese sandwich.
Come on now.
Also,
Sure
I
did.
seen my
One note that
parents
you didn't
sit
care.
at the table and me and
Ate
my
it like it
siblings
was
would be
steak.
eating. And me and my siblings would be eating, and my parents would be sitting across the table, and they would tell us we didn't know it then, but they would literally cover and be like, "No, we ate earlier," and they didn't have anything to eat that night
Yeah,
because they literally
Uh-huh.
believe, "Hey, this is a part of me, and I want this part of me to be the best. Matter of fact, be better than me." But now it's a selfish nature that came in to where now you have parents competing with children, children competing with parents, instead of both of them esteeming each other, saying you're the best and I want you to be better. That doesn't happen anymore. This is another reason why we have a problem.
mhm.
Yeah. Bro,
Hence how
you
you
made
come
me
to a
think
day and
about
age where
something.
you have a bunch of women on TikTok talking about they got an attitude because he took them to Applebee's for a first date. How is you cool? You lucky you got a date, period. What do you first of all, Applebee's has some very good food. I don't know what you're talking what you expected him to take you to a 5-star restaurant. You
Yeah,
probably don't
all
even
right.
know what side the fork go on. Do it go on the inside or the out? Have you ever ate at a 5-star restaurant?
Right.
No, everybody's chasing the bag. They don't care nothing about that. They don't care. Back when we were dating, when we were younger in our 20s, this grown time, and you could go out, kick it, and date. We wasn't counting nobody pocket.
Yeah.
We was happy that he picked us up to take us out. So we was gonna enjoy the night, whether we went to a restaurant, went to play darts, went to shoot pool, went. Do you remember when a date was a simple walk in the park?
Yep.
I was finna say, Empress, I got turned down. I'm trying to take her to some nice restaurant. I wanted to take her to the movies after. Since we done sat down and ate, we go see a movie, this and that. She was like, I don't want to do none of that. Can we just stay here and sit and talk? I'm like, damn, and I done went and got all this money out the bank to show you a nice time, and you just want to sit at home. And that's exactly what I did, and that's exactly what we did. And had the greatest time ever. In fact, I was glad we didn't even go.
Yeah.
And it was. That's because
even
love
with that, you pointed out something so valuable. You clearly said, you're saying that I took it upon myself to do these things because I felt like they needed to be done, instead of trusting that, hey, this is my moment, this is what I have to present. And a lot of times in a lot of families, and especially from your moment to put it in this moment, they don't instill in individuals, A, to trust themselves, B, to have a real trust and belief in God, because they don't even know what their belief in God was, because their belief was questionable.
I agree.
So now you got a bunch of individuals out here who are unsure of themselves, and it happened throughout the years. I'll give you a prime example, also in keeping with the subject. Remember when you approached a woman before, or you approached a young lady, and you rolled up on her, you dropped your line, whatever the case may be, and she may say, hey, like, yeah, I'm feeling you. Or she may say, no, I'm not feeling you. And then in the generation that we grew up in, and others across cultural lines grew up in, all right, beautiful, we'll catch you around. But now it's fuck you, bitch. Stupid ass. Whoa, son. Because first of all, if you were sure of yourself, you would say to yourself, hey, this happened right here, but that ain't gonna mean I ain't gonna win tomorrow.
Right.
But again, you also got people that causes the breakdown. A bunch of people who have been rejected, who are now pumping out rejected children. So now you have a bunch of people who are living in a world with a bunch of people who, for all intents and purposes, who are mentally rejected, and they are doing their best to project it upon individuals around them. No, if you don't want to be shit, that's your choice. If you don't want to lead anything, that's your choice. If you don't want to be a good father, that's your choice.
Thank you. And with rejection, people have to understand. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries. Everything we remember, and this is what's going to rebuild the family as well. Everything counts. Every word counts. Every moment counts. Every second, minute, hour, it counts. Be it personally or be it with family. If you feel within yourself and you hear yourself talking inside of your head, it ain't gonna never happen for me. It ain't gonna never work out for me. Everybody else getting blessed, I'm not getting blessed. Okay, keep that same mentality. Or you could change it, not just for you, but the generation that's potentially in you, and say, hey, it's not what I want it to be right now, but I believe in my God, and I believe in the ability placed within me, and we gonna come through. But that didn't happen in many of these generations that's going on now. They were told they weren't going to be shit. They believed it. And now, again, they're processing it and projecting it on to generations that came after them.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why I was saying, going into what you were saying about rejection, people tend to forget that rejection, after so long of people being rejected, they don't know anymore how to receive acceptance.
That's factual.
It's almost like acceptance goes out of the window, because then, for being rejected so much, then you try to show them acceptance and they don't even know how to receive it. It's almost as if they want you to reject them. They're so used to it, and then got so used to complaining about it. Now I got what I wanted, but you done took my reason to complain away.
Yep.
Because it's unfamiliar territory.
It's unfamiliar territory. Thank you very much, Empress. I couldn't have said it better myself. It becomes this unfamiliar territory that they're not even willing to become familiar. If you're going to familiarize yourself with rejection, and this is the thing that you wanted to steer away from, someone set you in a place of acceptance, and you sit there like you're neurotic, like, okay, what do I do with this? How do I, what, you accept it. It's genuine, it's love, it's what you're looking for, you accept it. Because if you're not going to, then stop being upset with rejection. Stop it. You can't have both ways. You're either going to accept being a person who's rejected and deal with that, or you're going to accept acceptance when it's given to you and you know that's what you want. This whole thing, you wanted this acceptance, accept it. Learn how to let go of the pain. It's almost like I don't have anything else left. All I have left is my pain. If I give that way, then I don't have anything. Well, if I'm not going to hold on to happiness, I'm sure still not going to hold on to pain. Then I just won't have anything at all.
You know, for a lot of people, it's where the pain came from. A lot of times, the pain is harder to let go of because of where the pain originated from. If pain came from mama, if pain came from daddy, and that's why we're talking about these broken families. If the pain came from family, it's hard to let it go because I gotta see you.
Because I have to let that person go with it because I can't keep that person.
I gotta see you. You around the family. You in the family. You an uncle. You a cousin. You a sister. You a mama. You a daddy. I can't just walk away from you. I'm a child. I don't know how to deal with this pain, so I take this pain, and the pain eventually turns into numbness. The numbness eventually turns into fear. The fear eventually turns into anxiety. Ask me how I know.
Anxiety turns to exactly what you were trying to get away from, rejection. Because now you obtain rejection in your own spirit. Now it became a part of you.
Right now.
You better talk, Empress. See, I was glad you did a panel tonight. I was like, I'm getting off early tonight. I know she's going to do something. It's Friday. Tonight, I'm not going to have to peek in and peek out. Today, I'm coming to show my voice since I ain't showing my face.
Yeah, because listen, because when you stop and think about it, a lot of who we are was shaped by who we grew up with.
Yep.
Our quote unquote family. It shapes who we are. And a lot of us, one or two things gonna happen. Now, there was a story we were told as children. Y'all probably heard it. This father had two sons. Daddy was an alcoholic. One of the sons grew up to be an alcoholic. And they asked the son that grew up to be the alcoholic, why did you become an alcoholic? He said, because my daddy was an alcoholic. The other son grew up to be a lawyer, extremely successful, made a lot of money. So they asked the other son, why did you grow up to be successful and didn't become an alcoholic like your brother? He said, because my daddy was an alcoholic. Same exact response.
But different.
But different outcomes. Because they both had different outlooks on the situation.
Yeah.
So we have a whole generation of individuals who either, one, looked at it and became extremely cold, two, dealt with it and became extremely insecure, or three, refused to deal with it at all. Go ahead, Zach.
I got a living example of that right now. You know, I got a brother. You know, I went through all kind of. We both went through. We both grew up in the same household. We both had similar, if not exact, traumas and things. You know, it took me some years to get through mine, but I'm no longer bound by those things, and I'm not. That stuff don't have no hold over me no more. But he's homeless in Arizona, still trapped by that and still holding on to all that and can't move forward and hasn't been able to move forward in life for years. Because we grew up in had the same things going on. You know, I got through it because I know I had to for my survival. His survival is he has to hold on to it and can't see past that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's true.
It is.
It affects
I'm
people
going to do
different,
the
and that's
exact
why you
same
have
thing.
so many people now, if they be honest, a lot of people deal with the fear of rejection. I tease Father Lock all the time when we got close and we talked. And he was like, "Why don't you come on camera?" And I'm like, "Baby, no. No. My anxiety goes through the roof every time I have to push that live button.
You did say that
Every
to me.
time I push record to record a video, even though I know what I'm capable of, even though I know what I can do, all this stuff that y'all see, I'm a one woman show. I don't have nobody that helps create these backgrounds, these shows. I got to do the voiceover. I got to find the stories. I got to edit it. I got to put it together, put the voiceover with it, put the transitions, all of that. Then I got to download it. And while I'm downloading
Come
that, I'm
on.
looking up another story to start working on. And I'm doing this all by myself. But the minute I got to push that record or hit that live button, it's like my anxiety goes through the roof. Do you know why? False evidence appearing real. Fear.
Hmm.
Nobody done said nothing. Nobody's done nothing. But the thought of the potentiality of it happening sends my anxiety into overdrive. Why? Because back in my childhood, I spent so much time being rejected.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Spent so much time being rejected and trying to fight through the rejection. See, I'm the strong one in my family. I'm the strong one when it comes to my friends and everybody around me. But who does the strong run to when they get weak?
Hmm.
We don't have anybody
Who do the
who wants
strong
to
run
deal
to?
with it.
So the whole time, I'm I'm one of those that when I go through, I don't have a whole bunch of people I can call and talk to help me through it. I gotta wipe my own tears, pat my own self on the back, grab my own self by the collar, yank my own self back up. Do you know why? Because people don't understand when the strong get weak. It's
You
not
know,
that they don't want to help you. A lot of times they don't know how. Because this
you
is
know,
unfamiliar territory for
they're
them
looking
in
for
dealing
help
with
from
you.
you. Yeah.
They're not used to you having a human moment. So all the years of dealing with rejection, and I'm one of those, because I do so much, I'll pour into so many people. When I sit back and look at the fact that I poured and poured and poured till I was empty, and none of the people that I poured into poured back into me once I got empty.
Mm-hmm.
No, they was on to the next person that
Yeah.
they could drain of all their assets. And now I'm left looking back like, had I poured that much time, effort into myself, I would have been a lot further. But now here I go again, picking myself back up by the bootstrap because now almost on rock bottom while I done helped them to soar. And I got to start all over again. See, people don't understand that fear. And a lot of that comes from your childhood,
Mm-hmm.
from being rejected
Mm-hmm.
by family. You know why? Because of all the lies that your family told.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to love you. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to look after you. I will never hurt you. And some of the biggest pain you received came from your family.
And you're not lying. I think that's one of the things that made me so numb to a lot of stuff because of a lot of things that I went through. And it's a shocker to people when when you're a person that's like that, when somebody meets someone who really, we all go through stuff. We all have our things that weigh on us and stuff like that. With me, it's this level of, I know we all go through stuff, so I don't bellyache about it. I just deal with it. Like you said, Empress, we're the strong ones, so we deal with it. It's not so much as we look to somebody when we going through stuff. It's like, do anybody even consider the fact that we may? It's like no one calls us and say, how you doing today? You okay? The minute they talk to us, it's always to tell us what's ailing them, what's going on with them, what can I do to help them. But not one time during any of that conversation of things going wrong, did you ever stop to ask me, was I okay?
Right.
You instantly assume that I can help you. Nothing's going on wrong. I'm here to fix everything broken in your life as if I'm not living mine. And not one time do they ever think to stop and just pick up the phone and say, you ran across my mind. I'm just calling to see if you okay. I know nothing ever really goes on wrong, but everybody goes through stuff and you be there for me and I just want to check in on you. Nobody ever thinks to do that. If just to check on me, even if nothing is going on at all, at least I ran across your mind since you keep stumping, since I'm always stumping on yours. Like, can I get that same level of care? So what I learned to do when I just go to someone strong like me who's not going through anything at that moment. I know you at your full strength and you will bring me back to mine. Because there's no sense in talking to somebody who don't have the same level of strength. You're not going to do anything but listen to what I'm telling you and say what everybody else. Oh, I hope everything get okay for you. I hope everything goes in the right. You have nothing else to add. So why go to you when I can go to someone strong who has an idea of what I'm going through and possibly have a way to help me out of it, give me some suggestions on how to fix it. Even if their idea of how they did it didn't work, I can have an idea of what to do to get myself back to going in the swing of things and not just feel broken and down. So that's what I start doing, Empress, when I get broken as a strong person. I just go to somebody who's strong like me, who's not going through nothing.
Yeah. And when you stop and think about a lot of these individuals and what they go through and the level of secrets their families hold, like the level of stories that they got to take to the grave. Like, I can't even share with nobody I went through this, because if I share it with somebody, it's going to destroy the whole system, baby. It's going to break the matrix. Matter of fact, it ain't going to be no red pill or blue pill no more. The pill going to be purple.
Completely crash the fourth wall.
Crash out if I really tell the story. So you got a lot of people who are internalizing stuff that they can't release. Because, I always say, a lot of us don't do story times because if we start doing story times, people get hurt.
Yeah.
And it's really sad because you sit back and you feel like, baby, I wish I could be one of those people on TikTok to just sit there in front of that camera. Number one, my anxiety won't let me. But number two, the level of story times.
I'm going to bring you out of that.
My phone would literally be lighting up like, what? People really could get hurt if a lot of us start telling our story times. So guess what we got to do? We got to figure out another outlet. My outlet for dealing with story times that I can't share is I create. So when y'all see me creating stuff, a lot of times this is my therapy.
Well,
this is me being able to detox and release.
But we as men do that though, bro. You took it right out of my mouth because I did it. I went on Facebook and did a whole live for every day straight, 7 days a week, bashing everything that everybody in my family did that kept and wasn't nobody saying nothing about and acted like did not happen. Oh, y'all want to play with me? Let me show y'all how I don't give a fuck how none of y'all feel. Because when it's all said and done, y'all didn't consider my feelings at all, consider my health, my mental state, didn't even consider nothing that was going on with me. It's like it did not happen. Well, let me show y'all how I feel about y'all feelings. Oh, baby, I put it all out there and shared it on every social media. Sure did. Let me show y'all.
Well, I wrote a book.
Come on now, book. Come on.
And they still, I mean, they still matter. But I said, look, I told my story. I can't help that y'all was part of the trauma of my story.
All part of it. You
know what I mean? But I told how I made it through. I can't help that y'all attribute it to all that garbage though. But they still, like right now, I'm ostracized right now. So, they've been trying to get me for the last couple of years to come around. But I know it's to they want me around so they can shun me. I know what y'all want to do.
Yeah, trying to put you in a child's place. I'm not a child. Number one. Number two, what happened to me happened to me. Number three, if you did not want to be a part of anything negative in my chapter of my life, you should have made that chapter part of my life. Period. And for people to get mad, first of all, were you mad about doing what you did to me? Then don't be mad about me talking about it. Shut up. That's how I felt about it. That's me speaking to me about why I told everything I did. If you weren't mad about what you did to me, don't be mad about me talking about it.
Right.
Because it happened to me.
A lot of people, it ain't even what they did. A lot of people is the silence.
Yeah.
You sat back silent. One thing that I noticed in families, and then Progressive, I heard you trying to chime in. One thing I noticed in families is a lot of times we'll have the attitude of, I'm not getting involved in that. Well, why not? We supposed to be family. I ought to be able to know that if I'm drowning, you gonna throw out a lifeline to help me float or something. But to say you're not getting involved in that, to me, that is taking a side. You taking a side, not of the truth, because why wouldn't you want to speak up and say, no, you were wrong? Not saying that you were right, but there was a better way to handle this situation. Right. But to me, not saying nothing at all, to me, silence is consent. So that means to me, you agree with what happened.
Yep. That's exactly how I feel, Empress. That's why. Thank you for saying that, because that further validated how I felt, because that's the first thing that hit me. You want to consider this may do a lot of damage to the family. But then I thought about it. Well, this did a lot of damage to the family. What y'all did to me. So what more damage can I do that y'all haven't done? Because here's this. Y'all did this to me. I didn't see y'all mistreating no one else. I get to state anything that happened to me, and I don't care that you are angry about it. If you're not going to be angry, what I tell racist people when they apologize. I'm sorry about that. Don't apologize that they said it to me. Apologize that y'all the reason it even exists. If you're not apologizing for that, then don't apologize for anything somebody said. You're the reason they're able to say it. I take it to, like I tell people, go to the simplest. Like when you said, they gonna try to stun you. Can't stun someone who ain't one.
Right.
And you have every right to write your book, and I'm glad that you did. I'd be so glad when people open their hearts out and spill what happened to them. And the reason why I said this, because I wouldn't have never said anything, because like I said, I'm a strong person. I understand that other people have mental issues. I don't think anything was wrong with me. Everything was wrong with you. Just like when they wanted me to talk to therapists and this, and I told the therapist, I don't have a reason to talk to you. I'm not the one with the mental issue. I'm not the one running around touching children. So why do I need to talk to a therapist? I know what was done to me is wrong. This is why I told about it. Like, y'all need to talk to some kids that really, really is broken by this. I'm not broken by this. This person should be broken by this. They're sick, not me. So what made me say something is everybody in the family wants to put out my sexual business, which is none of your business. but y'all hiding the monsters in our family. Y'all don't want nobody to know about the molesters. Y'all don't want nobody
Yeah.
saying but y'all want to worry about me being gay.
Yeah.
Who I'm laying with. First of all, I'm not even gay. But I'm gonna let y'all think that, and I'm only gonna show y'all that. I tell people, I give you the face you make for me. I don't have to show you the genuine me. You never showed me the genuine you a day since I've known you. So you're only gonna get what you give me. Meet the mirror. You will never meet Cedric. You will meet a mirror image of yourself, and I'm gonna ever give you. That's it. I
And
love
it's
when
so
people make
sad.
some
Families
about
gotta.
me.
It's so sad that families are at a place where if I have something going on with me, something serious that I need to talk to somebody about, you can't go talk to your blood. Because if you talk to your blood, it's going to end up around the city before
And
you
what's
wake up the
crazy
next morning.
is our people is known for that. When did black people get known for that? Like, that's crazy to me. But tell about everybody else, people in the family that are these type of deviants and perverts and this, but you want to have the ones in y'all are in your family? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's the only reason why I said something about it. Because of everybody in my business that don't even bother, ain't even an issue. You have a person in the family going around touching on people's children, including their own. And y'all worrying about who I'm out here. Well, the person touching me supposed to play with my shit, not them. It was created for somebody else to mess with it, not family members.
See,
Y'all.
that's another thing. That's another thing that caused the breakdown as far as the family is concerned. Across cultural lines, we cease to be concerned about quality and start being concerned about quantity. I say that because relationally, matter of fact, I remember it was a time where women didn't even introduce you to their children until you all were literally at least a number of years in, because I'm not introducing you to somebody that's potentially not going to be here next week. And so now you got the situation again where individuals are being consumed with pulling a bunch of people near them until they're saying, hey, let me pause. Let me get some quality people around me. And I'm on the road, very transparent. I'm that person still struggling with that because I'll be like, man, I like this person. Instead of saying, hey, I like this person. Is this person good for my life? Or like, I like this person, but dang, is this person really heading in the same direction that I'm heading? People would rather
Right.
turn a blind eye. And then I
Yeah.
was also going to add to that point as far as you all were making. My goodness, I'm trying to remember what the point was that you all were discussing. Ah, man. Oh, strong people as well. That goes back to quantity and versus quality. So when you know you're a strong person, again, talking to myself, common sense would say put strong people around you. But with a strong person, usually when somebody comes to them and there's a need, or that the individual that seems to be, for all intents and purposes, damaged or weak, a strong person is going to jump to fix that person. I never forget it. I was in a discussion with my lady, and I was just talking about just generally, like, people like, man, I did this or I did that. And I'd be like, who told you to do it?
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Who told you to do it? And that's the question you got to ask yourself before you do. Why are you doing it? Even to the instance of you talking about, like Father Locker dress, as far as people being in families and being predators, that individual also has to pose the question to that individual that's in that family that's trying to cover it up. Why are you trying to cover it up?
Because we are taught to pretend everything is perfect. We
And
even
that's
do
what
that
Hmm.
in church.
people got
We even
mad
go
at
back
me.
and look back to the church setting. I call church now the Great Masquerade. And the
Yep.
reason I call it the Great Masquerade is because there's a bunch of people masquerading as someone that they're not. You
Mm-hmm.
see the same girls in the church on Sunday that you see in the club, popping, locking,
Mm-hmm.
twerking, dropping, having one night stands and all of that on Saturday night. They in church on Sunday.
And what's the name
Church
of helping
teaches
them do
you
it?
Church teaches you to fake it till you make it. Everybody is masquerading. Even in families, you have kids masquerading. They go to school, they take school pictures with smiles on their face, scared to go home because they don't know if
What to
daddy or
expect?
mama gonna be in a good mood or not, and they gonna get beat to inches of their life when they get home. They just don't
Or
know because everybody is masquerading around as someone else. You want to get in a relationship. We was talking about dating. You people tell you all the pretty words that you want to hear when you want to get in a date. They tell you they're gonna hand you the word, the world. You don't have that ability. It don't belong to you. But it sounds good in the moment. And we fall for all these pretty little words with no substance behind it because they're not gonna bring nothing to pass. We don't take the time out to think about stuff like that. Is this person just talking? Or is this really somebody that if I could give you the moon, baby, I'm trying to find a lasso so that I can pull it down for you. But we don't take the time to think about whether or not the individual we're with is trying to be with us like that.
right.
Because we got songs that say, let's go half on the baby. So now all the kids just want to go half on the baby. Even some of
And
the
like
older ones, because we still have the ideology that having a baby is gonna keep a man.
and like you said, Empress, about the songs, about um not the songs, about the people going to the clubs and doing the double life, as I call it. And then they in church on Sunday, but was just twerking in the club. When you mention songs, that's another song that helps them. Beyonce songs helps them do it. Her song, church song, that's exactly what it's about. She ain't trying to hurt nobody. She just trying to have fun. Drop it like a thotty, bounce that ass like a thotty, like talking about my precious little church girl. That's exactly what her song is about. About bouncing your ass in the club and then just go to church on Sunday and ask God to forgive you about it. But then just do it all again.
Mhm.
I was like, and they just and this is why you have so much of that now. It was already becoming a problem, but now it's becoming. It's not a. Now it's becoming normal.
You can say what you want. People can say what they want to say about the church. But we wasn't getting in all this church in all this trouble when we was in church Monday through Friday,
Not at all.
Saturday and Sunday. We wasn't getting in this much church when we had to get up in the morning and go to Sunday school. Well, see, the church I grew up in, we had breakfast first, so the kids had to come for breakfast.
Yeah, we went to
We had
breakfast.
Sunday school, then we had Sunday service, and then
Yep.
they had a
Evening
dinner, a free
service.
dinner. You didn't have to pay for it. There was a free dinner
Yep.
in between Sunday service and evening service, so you
Yep.
didn't have
But
to
then
go
right
home.
after that, there was
You could
evening
stay
service.
there. Then you had YPWW. Then you had Sunday night. So we wasn't getting in that much trouble. Do you know why? We ain't had no time. These
Then
kids
you
got too much
had Friday
time
night
on their
fellowship.
hands.
Don't forget Wednesday choir practice. Then you, because
Tuesday Bible
I
study.
stayed in church. I wanted to go. I wanted to go. Mama used to ask me, baby, where you going, Mama? Today is Wednesday. Oh, you on your way to
This
the
is
church? Yep. She didn't have to worry about what Sunday because I'm at church. Talk about I know so much
this
about
is
the
one of the
Lord now.
things. That's one of the things that I believe is causing the breakdown in keeping with the subject. As far as church is concerned, I think that's what's causing a breakdown in the family as well. But I said that to say this because now a lot of kids are growing up to realize that the people that they thought knew the Lord and he shouldn't base faith based on another person's faith and life. It's very personal and an individual thing. But I'm going to continue on with my point and saying they found out a lot of the things that people taught them as far as faith was concerned, as far as God was concerned, was fragmented or
Mm-hmm.
for their journey, and they try to force it for their journey. So now you got a bunch of people not just insecure within themselves, they're also insecure about God because they don't know God. Whether they be from the instance of individuals saying, well, my father left, who says this father is going to stay? That also may mean from the context of I understand what you're saying, and you're saying I could be a part of this family, but I never seen a good family, so I'll wait for the other shoe to drop. So therein lies now you don't even have a faith-based system. The most of the things
You breaking up.
talk is factual.
Uh-oh. We lost you a little bit there at the end. You was breaking up.
Just basically in a nutshell, I'm saying that that faith-based organization has a solid place in the breakdown of the family because
Yeah.
we've been teaching people to celebrate more and more than we taught people to go within. And I mean, go within from the standpoint of understand that in order for you to go as far as you say you want to go, first your heart has to be healed. When you get done shouting, when you get done going through the motions, you still have to be healed in order to be able to make it to where you say you're trying to make it. But that's not what's pushed. The narrative is motivation. The narrative is let's just hang together. But why am I hanging with you? Do we have a common interest? Just because you say you down with the Christ don't mean you down with the Christ the way I'm down with the Christ. Respectfully so.
Everybody ain't in the same place with the Father. You are absolutely right. And some
And I
And
people
you
don't
have
feel
a lot of pastors and
understand.
shepherds out here who,
What'd you say, Empress?
oh my bad, I hit the button. A lot of these pastors are not leading these hold on, did somebody pop in the back? Okay. They're not leading the people to Christ. They're leading the people to them. A
Yeah.
lot of what people experience in church, and this is where you get the church hurt that comes in at. And I believe this is really only a trick of the enemy to try to pull
It is.
people away from church because
It
you
is.
have a lot of people now who are saying that they refuse to go to church, not because God did anything to them, but because they see the actions of men who are supposed to be in the church, who are supposed to know the way and keep falling by the wayside. So a lot of the leaders and the leadership that we have in church, that's what they teach you. They teach you to fake it till you make it. They
because
teach you to be pacified and not teach you to be delivered or teach you to be renewed or teach you how to get out of the mess that you in. They don't church don't even talk to you about setting roadmaps and setting goals. All church tell you to do is walk by faith. Walk where? Walk how? What kind of
They
shoes
don't
am I
even
supposed
tell
to
you that
wear?
no more. All
Which
they too
path
busy
am I
telling you
supposed to go on?
about
What does
spiritual
the path
worship
look like that
and
I'm supposed
money
to be on?
and all that.
We
that's
don't
because
have
a
none
lot
of
of
those
them is
conversations.
insecure. A lot of them are walking in false evidence appearing real. A lot of them, that podium, that pulpit, gives them their their I guess what
Their
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 courage.
spiritual spinach.
That's why a lot of them are. A lot of them. They once they down. They don't want to be. It ain't so much that they don't want to be bothered with. It's hard for them to. Hard for you to get in contact with them. It's because they don't know how they're insecure. They're very intimidated. So their bravado over the pulpit. If you just listen to some of their sermons and the scriptures that they use, it's more about, like you said, bringing people to them, controlling people. They're giving you what, how can I say this? They want what they don't. They're portraying something that they don't have.
Yeah.
I
The
get
great
what you're saying.
masquerade.
The great masquerade.
The great masquerade. Everybody's from the church to the world to corporate America to the streets. Everybody is walking around with a Mardi Gras mask on, pretending to be somebody else
A false
because
sense of
everybody
self.
is afraid to be who they really are. They can't, and I won't even say be afraid. A lot of people were never taught how to be because majority of the people were always told who they should be.
Yep.
So they never. When I had my children, and I have two boys, two girls. My girls are the oldest, my boys are the younger, but they all grown now. Thanks be unto the Lord. But neither of my sons are named after their father, and it wasn't because I had an issue with their fathers. No, it was because I told their fathers that my children would have their own individuality.
Yeah, that's how I
I didn't
felt.
want my children to feel like they had to grow up and walk in their father's footsteps because they were named after him. No, I wanted my children to be able to grow up and have their own identity and
I don't
forge
have
their
one either,
own
Empress.
path.
I don't
So
have a
I
junior
didn't.
either.
We have so many people masquerading around as someone else. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh,
Everybody is portraying a mask. For the
my
most
favorite.
part, it's hard to find people who are honestly genuine. And then when people find someone who is honestly genuine, now all of a sudden they think it's a figment of their imagination. Now all of a
Hmm.
sudden you a mirage. You gotta be a alien because there's no way somebody is genuinely this concerned. When I tell y'all, I tried starting businesses, and because I wouldn't use my business to solely promote somebody else, I had people sabotage it. I have gifts. Like when you talk about somebody being gifted, I'm one of those individuals who's gifted. Like God bless me. But being gifted also comes with its own level of, how should I say? I don't want to say hate, envy, jealousy, hardships of its own, because now people look at you like, oh, you think you know everything.
Oh
Now,
my
I can't
God.
help what I know. See, when
You
I
just
was
have to
younger,
stand with
I
people.
spent a lot of time reading. My head stayed in books.
Come on.
If there was something I wanted to know, nothing that I know I learned from a college. Everything that I know, from graphics to writing to how to format a book to how to do graphic design, all of that came because I picked up
From,
a book, or
I
I
was just
found
gonna
a
say you
video,
taught
or
yourself,
went on
didn't you?
Google and I searched it out myself
I can
because
tell
I
by the
wanted
way
to
you
build
speak.
me up. But what happens is when you take a person like that's that driven, and a person who just says, you know what, I just want to help, and you put them in a room with individuals who don't care nothing about helping, all they want to do is excel. All of a sudden, you become the threat. Now we have to eliminate the threat, even though the threat was never a threat to begin with, because I don't want your position.
Yeah.
I don't want to do what you do. I want to be able to do what I do peacefully. I'm the type of person, if you my friend, Father Locke can tell y'all, I'm the type of person when I believe in you, everything that I have belongs to you. And I'm going to do, and I'm not talking about relationships. This is just me talking about me believing in you. If I had somebody come
100%.
up on this panel right now and was talking about what they wanted to do, businesses they wanted to start, and said, you know what? I just don't know how to take the first step. The kind of heart that I have will let them know, I tell you what, I'm going to put together something strictly for you
Yep.
because I want to see you excel and get ahead. I'm not going to ask you for no money for it. Do you know why? Because I know what it's like. Right now, I'm supposed to be starting school. Every time I get ready to put one foot in front of the other to make another step, to be able to put, because 2 years ago, and that's a whole nother story time, but 2 years ago, I lost everything.
Man,
Trusting
yeah.
people. When I tell you I lost everything, I lost everything. When I say I went dark, so y'all listen to this sweet champagne stuff, and I'm really a bubbly girl. Y'all all, I'm all love and frills and light. But once that light switch shut off, baby, it go dark.
Mm.
And when I tell you, at that time in my life, when I lost a house, my mortgage company completely played me on my house. I fought for my house in a Chapter 13 for 5 years.
Dang,
5 years.
Empress, it took 5 years.
5 years. I fought when and then, okay, quick story time. We out here now. So I ended up buying a house, and I bought the house from my bosses that I work with. I told y'all I was a property manager. Now, the bosses that I work with, the business had two different sides. One side of the business was the brokerage side. They dealt with commercial. The other side of the business was the rental side. That was the side I worked on. But both partners were my bosses. So the boss that worked on the rental side one day came to me and he was like, I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm walking away. It's some stuff going on. I'm done. All of y'all will be smart to walk away yourself. So the other boss ended up calling me on because it was a whole big thing because we woke up like, the hell is going on? I didn't even know you could quit your own business. Didn't even know that was possible. But the other boss called us and told us, don't worry about y'all jobs. Everything is going to be cool. Everything's going to be running. The other boss said, he lying. Ain't no money. I'm like, well, I just got paid. He said he got it. But I got to see it through. You know, the way the job market is. Ain't nobody got time right now to be searching for another one. So one day we wake up on payday. Nobody has a paycheck at all. We calling the boss. He not answering the phone. We calling each other. Everybody got the same question. Where's our money? So he ended up, I promise you, we all filed for unemployment. We let unemployment know what happened. He ended up letting us know 2 weeks later, y'all ain't nobody fighting y'all unemployment, file unemployment.
Oh, wow.
Just let them know it's temporary, whatever. So I contact my mortgage company because I told you I got my house from them. And I let them know, look, I need to file for a modification. This is what's going on as of right now. I don't know if we have a job, if we don't have a job. This what's going on. Go through the modification. This is like in July. And now, mind you, all this time I'm calling them to find out what's going on. In September, I ended up calling them and asking them, can y'all tell me something? Do I need to be making payments during this time? What? They told me no. When I finally reached them in September, they told me they had approved my modification, that I would receive the terms of the modification at the end of the month. Well, at the end of the month, instead of me getting the terms of my modification, they sent me a letter stating that my loan had been sold to another mortgager. So I called the other mortgager. Other mortgager was Mr. Cooper. I'm going to put him out there, trash. So I called him on the telephone and I'm asking him like, hey, listen, I was going through a modification with my previous loan company. They told me that my modification was approved, but instead of getting a letter with the terms of the approval, I received a letter saying it was sold to you. So I'm just trying to see, are you guys accepting the modification, and to find out what it is so I can start making my payments. The lady told me they hadn't even received the terms of my modification yet, but she could see in the notes that it was approved. So we called my previous mortgager on three-way. While we're on three-way, they tell me they're going to send everything over. So I'm keeping in contact with Mr. Cooper for like 60 days. I'm calling, well, it was about 30 days. I'm calling them, trying to figure out what's going on. Do they have the terms? After the 30th day, now mind you, we into the next month of them having my loan. They finally let me know, okay, we received the terms, but now instead of owing 1 month, I now owe 2. So I have a conversation with them. Hold on, because y'all just got the terms of my modification. Don't you think that the start period should start at the point when you got the terms of the modification? because you're asking me to cover a period of time where not only did I not know what the modification was, you didn't know what the modification was. The
Right.
lady I talked to was like, you know what, I understand. I don't see why there should be a problem with them restarting the start date because we did just get the modification this month. I'm going to put it in the notes and somebody going to reach back out. For 90 days, I'm having conversations with these people, calling to find out what's going on. Do I need to make a payment? Even if a small payment, they like, no, because you don't want to mess it up. Don't pay nothing. At the end of the 90 days, on the last call, I speak with somebody at the mortgage company. He tells me, well, your modification has been dropped for failure to comply. Excuse me? What do you mean failure to comply? He said, well, because you said you weren't going to pay it. No, that's not what I said. What I said was, you all did not get the terms of the modification until month 2 into the modification. Not only did you not have the terms, but I didn't have the terms. So how am I being forced to pay for a month where you didn't have information and neither did I? I'm not asking you to redo the modification. I'm asking you to redo the start date. So he's like, well, we've dropped the modification and at this point we just gonna foreclose. Excuse me? So I ended up talking to a lawyer friend who helped me get the house originally. And she was like, you know what? You did everything that you were supposed to do. File for a Chapter 13, which is a modification. So I filed a Chapter 13. Going through the 13, they giving me amounts that I'm supposed to pay. Mind you, whole time Mr. Cooper is calling me on the telephone telling me drop the modification and they'll drop the Chapter 13 and they'll work out the modification with me. No, at this point I'm not dropping the Chapter 13 because what's my protection? I tried to do this with y'all outside of the Chapter 13 and y'all gave me a hard time. Matter of fact, when you're in foreclosure, you're not supposed to be calling me anyway, right? Ain't that against the law?
It is.
So we going through, whole time I'm making payments. After they see me making payments, then they decide they want to do a modification on, what was it? They wanted to include, it was something else in it. I can't think. So now we going through, we done reached about year, let's just say this. Now it's 2020. They approved me for my Chapter 13 modification now. Because now I done had increases, all kind of stuff. Because it seemed like every time I started paying something, they added something else to make my payments more. Like they was really trying to make me lose this house. So 2020 hits, pandemic hit. You know what happened during the pandemic? Everything is shut down. Well, I get approved for my modification, the trial modification in the Chapter 13. I get approved in March of 2020. This is the biggest COVID hit month. Post office is closed. Everything is closed. So I can't send any money. I can't send a money order. The only thing that I can do is go through my bank. My bank had a system where you could get a check made through your bank and sent to pay your bill. But it takes a little bit longer time. So because I had to do that, instead of them getting their payment by the end of the month, they were getting the payment by the 1st or the 2nd of the next month. So at the end of the 3-month trial period, now mind you, we still in the pandemic. They petitioned the court and told the court I didn't honor my modification. So in my head, I'm like, are you kidding?
Wow.
We're in the middle of a whole pandemic. Are y'all okay? Did you want me to fly it there to you myself? It wasn't like you didn't get it. It wasn't like you only got a partial payment. You got the whole thing. You just got it a day or two late because the mail is messed up. I can't control that. The courts dropped my whole chapter 13. So I had to file another bankruptcy. Start the whole process all over again.
Wow.
Now we're going through it. Mind you, by this time we at like year 4, 5. It's crazy. So when I filed again and we got ready to be approved for the trial modification again, now the mortgage company comes and says, we want to include all the back mortgage payments. Motherfucker, we talking about 5 years worth of payments. Are y'all okay?
Right.
I thought during the pandemic, they were supposed to be doing everything they could to keep people in their houses. But they were doing everything they could to take my house from me. So at that point, I was so frustrated. I said, you know what? I told my attorney, switch it to a 7. And I'm going to tell you what it was. I watched the Medea play. And in the Medea play, she said, some of y'all stressed over these houses. And if you just walk away from it, you'll have so much more peace. And the thing was, because I had children.
Right.
And because this was something that I had got on my own. And making sure that my kids, because I had a big, beautiful house. Big, stupid, beautiful house. Making sure that my kids all had their own room. They were able to be kids. Everybody had, their own. This was our home.
Yeah.
I invested my own money into this home so that this home would appraise at a certain amount so I could purchase it. So now I'm losing money that I invested into this house before it was even mine because I wanted it so bad.
Right.
So I switched it to the 7. And this company ended up calling me about doing a short sale. So we going through the process. They done reached out to because they like, ain't no sense of you walking away with no money. You done invested in this house. And so we contacted the mortgage company. Yeah, they put the foreclosure on hold for the short sale. So we going through the process of what they need, listing it, sending pictures, all of this stuff. So we come to October. All of a sudden, I get a phone call that says, do you know your house has been sold? Excuse me?
Wow.
What do you mean my house has been sold?
Right.
So he like, I'm looking on the thing because I'm checking to see, what's going on with the short sale and when they gonna let us go to the next step. And it's saying sold. So me and the guy that was doing the short sale, we get on the phone with Mr. Cooper and they tell me, oh yeah, well, we decided to go ahead and sell it. We listed it in the newspaper. You didn't think to notify the owner?
Wow.
So they literally stole my house. So when I went to court, to finalize the foreclosure, and I'm letting the judge know, I'm like, they basically stole my house. You sold my house from under me when we were in negotiations with a short sale. And the lady asked them to pull up the notification. The notification came a month after the sale. And they didn't even have my name on, because you got to do something in the newspaper. I can't remember exactly what it was to notify me they're going to sell my house. But why would you need to do all that when you got all my information? And you could have just contacted me and said, we're not going to go through with the short sale. We're going to sell the house by this day. Even with the listing being done in the newspaper wrong, even with the notification happening after the sale, the judge still looked at me and said she was approving the foreclosure. And I lost my house. Wow. When I tell you, I went dark. When I tell you, what was his name? 600 BZ. When his baby mama unalived herself, and he was talking about how she said she was at a place where she didn't feel like she was a part of this world. Like she felt like an alien. When I tell you that's how I started feeling, it was like, why is it the good go through so much? Do you know how many people I opened up my home to because they were homeless, didn't have a place to stay? Do you know how many kids I took in and fed and
I've been there.
nurtured? Do you know how many people that I let my home be a safe haven for? And then you
I've been
step
there.
back and you like, I got a heart of gold. Why do I keep getting played?
And not one person reach out to help you.
Not one. Not one. So I lost my house. After I lost my house, I ended up getting another job after that job. When I tell you I poured everything into it because the business owner was somebody that I knew. So because I knew the individual, it was like, okay, you got a new business. I'm a business strategist. I'm the one that walks into your business you trying to start up and say, okay, this you need a department for this. You need a department for this. This is the training that you need for this. Okay, you need paperwork. These are the documents you need. Do you need me to create it for you, or do you know how to do it? That's the kind of person I am. So I walked in and I'm helping her with everything with her business, everything, so that she ain't got to worry about it, because that's what you hired me for. I'm a troubleshooter. I watch people be hired under me make more money than me, and me be told that I shouldn't worry about it because somehow, because we knew each other, it was like I owed this to her. Like I should just accept whatever she give
What
me
you
because we
giving
know
me,
each other.
brother?
So I'm going through this. By the time I walked away, I have redid handbooks, I did training manuals, I developed policy and procedure manuals, because I'm one of those that believe, hey, if you got a business, you better be taking notes. I'm
Yeah,
one of those that believe that there should be a policy and procedure for every position in your company. Because
yeah,
if you have to hire somebody else, you don't have to worry about trying to figure out if the person who trained them the right way, because you got a policy and a procedure right there to let them know that it's being trained the right way. This girl told me that I didn't show her any leadership within her company. Mind you, everybody that got trained by me.
wait,
Everybody.
what? You didn't
Everybody
show
that got
no
trained.
who?
I didn't show any leadership within the company.
That's
Every
wow.
every document had my name on it because I created it.
She tried to play you. That's just
I'm the
trying to
one
play you.
I'm the one de-escalated client that came in. I was the de-escalator. I was the one everybody wanted to speak to when they called the company, because I'm a people person and I know how to talk to people, and I understand that respect given is respect earned.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. So when I walked away from that job, the boss that I told you from the first job ended up giving me a call. Can't make it up. Same day. Not walked away. I got terminated. The guy called me the same day and said, listen, I got a friend, needs some assistance. It's a property management position. So I get this position, start working this job. Now, mind you, this is our cream team. So I'm the only person of color in this business. But I told you, I don't ever walk in a business looking like, oh, I'm the only black girl here. It's all these white people. No, we
Yeah.
co-workers. We here to do a job. I don't care
Right.
about your color.
Can you right?
So one thing with property management companies is property management companies bring you a lot of money if you do them right. But
Yeah.
what you run into with a lot of property management companies is they really don't care about taking care of the houses. They only care about making the money.
Mhm.
So they had a lot of houses in the inner city, people that look like me. I would have people calling me with 2 feet of raw sewage in the basement.
Ugh. Ugh.
And they would be telling me to call these people and ask them for rent. And I would tell them no.
I
I'm
don't
not,
know.
see, I'm a shepherd for the underdog. That's me. You
You
can't
too.
mistreat people on my watch. And that's my problem. If I would just learn how to shut up sometime and not be everybody's savior and defender and all of this,
It's not
I
in
probably
you.
could be further, but it's not even in me to do it.
It's not in you.
But
God
I
didn't
would
build
call the
you that
owners
way.
and let the owners know, like, hey, listen, I feel like this person's rent should be dropped from this to this to this sewage is taken care of in their basement because you realize your tenant is sleeping in toxicity. They're inhaling this and they have children. Well, one day after this going on for about 4 months, my boss walks me into the office and he tells me, I feel like you're too much of a people person. And I feel like you need a job that offers you more responsibility. So we don't
What?
feel like you're a fit for our company. So I'm
Wow.
looking at him like, now, mind you, I had the largest rent collection group in the company because I was getting the most money in from the tenants, but they were problem tenants. They would give me the tenants who had back rent like $6,000, $7,000. And I was getting them caught up on their rent. They trying to figure out how are you helping these tenants to get caught up? And I'm letting them know, well, when it comes to my culture, it's much easier if you call them and tell them, hey, I see you have a balance. I can break this balance up over the next 7 months with your rent plus this amount per month. Do you think
Right.
you could swing that? That sounds much better than calling them and telling them you owe $7,000. When you gonna pay it?
Right.
Wait for it, cause who got it? So I had the largest rent collection group because I'm getting this money in. So every time they get a new package of properties with owners who have problem tenants, they putting them in my group. So to have him walk me in the office and tell me, we feel like you need a position that gives you more responsibility. I'm looking like, bro, Ashton Kutcher got to be getting ready to jump out because I gotta be getting punked because I want to
Yeah.
look out for people, and I'm not gonna sit idly by and let y'all charge these people exuberant amounts of money for rent, and y'all ain't fixing up these people property. Are y'all cool? When I tell
That's
you I went dark,
crazy.
I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. By this time, I had lost my house. I had lost my car. I could. It was like it was the first time in my life where I went through a period where I was losing everything, and I almost lost my mind going through the whole thing.
I
I wasn't
bet.
suicidal, but if I
No, but it
just
takes
didn't
a
wake
mental
up,
toll.
then I would have been cool. I would have been cool. I was on the verge of becoming suicidal or homicidal, depending on the next feather that dropped and which direction it dropped in. So
Yeah.
baby, I understand loss. That's why I can talk to so many other people about loss. I don't talk to people the way that I do and encourage the way that I do because I feel good every day.
Right.
No, there's some days I'm wiping tears from my eyes and getting on this live with y'all and telling y'all got it.
Yeah.
Because I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
I went
I
from
can't
losing
say you be
everything
there.
to turning around and losing my grandbaby and not having one person that I look out for ask, are you okay? You just lost your grandbaby. You have to go watch your big grandbaby be born, not breathing. Skin coming off of her hand, her face, her head, her
That's
eye.
so crazy.
Sitting in the hospital watching your grandbaby, skin
And
turn
not
dark
one
and
person.
shrivel up.
That's so crazy.
And not one person that I done gave my last to that could call me and say, sis, I'm I'm going through it. If you got it, and it's my last 100, you got it. Here you go. I'll get it back to you when I can. Don't even worry about it. You got it. You got it. And I'm going through like this. The good people. And you wonder why so many good people are just giving up and throwing in the towel, because toxicity it looks like toxicity is winning. Now, all of us know how to go out and make some money if we really wanted to. We know. Hell, TikTok tell you they got whole 304 culture going on TikTok. Hell, they telling you how to sell your tail on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. We know how to make, but some of us still have a moral compass.
Yeah.
Our compass somehow we lost. Much love, Niecy. Enjoy work, babe. Niecy says she at work. But y'all, yeah. Mm-hmm. Is Zach snoring? Yeah, I think Zach knocked out. We'll talk about you tomorrow. But people be broken. Be broken. And don't have anybody they can pour out to, or nobody that's gonna pour into them.
At all.
So who do the strong run to when they running on E?
I guess us dealing with it, crying our hearts out, having to go through it is our recharge.
You gotta let it be, otherwise you're gonna lose your doggone mind. As you see, half of us can't run to our family. Yeah, tell some of the stuff you going through to your family. Baby, it's gonna be on CNN, World Star. It's almost like families glorifying your downfall.
Yeah.
Makes you question sometimes, God, where was your antennas when you set me in this family? Where? Okay. But the one thing that it did show me, everything, and that ain't even the totality of the story. I just stopped there. But it shows you how strong you are to be able to still get up, put one foot in front of the other, put one foot in front of the other, and keep going, even with tears in your eyes, feeling alone, feeling isolated, feeling like your heart is shattered into a million pieces, feeling like nobody understands, feeling like nobody will listen, nobody will care, but still getting up and putting one foot.
Being created to be everybody's punching bag.
Yeah.
But that's how I felt. I felt like my whole purpose in being created was just to be the world's punching bag. Like, Father, if that's your purpose for me, I would have to just live by it. But man, why me? What have I done to be the world's punching bag?
It'll make you ask them questions. It'll make you ask them questions, because where was your village?
Yeah.
We be the village for so many other people. Where's your village? Do you ever stop and ask yourself, where's my village? What?
Right.
If I'm down and out, do I got somebody I can call? Say that again.
We can be a village for everybody else, but nobody would even open the door of a cottage for us. A whole village, but y'all can't even open a cottage door for me. Just one door out of this whole village of folks. I don't-
Not without
and
you
what I
having to
do,
pay for it.
and what I do for you, it seemed like a village of people did it when one person did it, and I can't even get you to open a cabinet door for me.
You know, I had a young lady. I was um starting my personal vision coaching business. And while I was working on trying to like put together my lessons and stuff like that, my courses,
Uh huh.
it was a young lady that I had met. She had a kind of little podcast on Facebook that she would do.
Oh
So
wow.
a friend of mine had asked me, had introduced me to her for being on her show. So I ended up talking to her and I was asking her about her show and what she do. And she was telling me, and she was like, and I do everything on my own and all of this. And me understand the struggle trying to
Hmm.
develop something because I was in the process of developing my business. And I asked her, I said, well, what do you need? She was like, well, it'd be hard when I'm trying to get my thumbnails for the show and da 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 da. I said, I'll tell you what, right now while I'm building my business, I said, let me pour into yours. I said, I'll create your thumbnails for you. She was like, oh my, I said, you know, I'm a firm believer that when God puts me in the life of somebody, especially a female, I know it's for a reason. See, I'm the type, I
Right.
grew up around my uncles and my daddy and all of that. So, you know, I hang more with the fellas than with the females because I don't do all the catty drama mess. I ain't cut from that cloth.
Mm-mm.
So, ooh, my allergies are cutting up. Hold on one second, Father Lord. Go ahead
So,
while I clear my throat.
you go. I'm doing the same thing. It's that season, boo.
Okay, I had to get some water. So I'm working on the stuff for her. And see, what she would start doing is she would call me the day before her show and
Hmm.
say, oh, I need a such and such and such and such. But then would get an attitude when I couldn't get it done right away. Press pause.
Wow.
I can do this for you. But what I need you to do, matter of fact, I sat down as a business strategist. I sat down with her co-host, one of their other partners that work on the team, and I let them know. I said, if you're doing shows like the kind that you're doing with guests and all of that, you should have your shows planned out at least the next 3 months. If you can't
Hmm.
do 3 months, at least do the next 30 days, 60 days if you can. That way you can submit everything at one time with your speakers' names, with the topics. That way you already got your thumbnails ready at the beginning of the month. You're not waiting to the
Right.
last minute to do everything all the time. Spread it out so that way once you have your shows picked out, now you can start working on what you're going to discuss, what the outline is going to be. That's what you should be working on, not the last minute trying to figure out what your show is going to be. He
Right.
got upset and said, I feel like you don't have time for me in doing this. So I feel like we shouldn't work together anymore. Okay, that's fine. But what I need you to understand is my time is not yours.
Right.
Because I'm volunteering my time to assist you does not mean I'm supposed to devote all of my time to you. And I
Period.
don't know what it is that I keep running into that over, and once I show you what I can do, now all of a sudden you feel like I'm obligated to you in
I hope I
everything.
never made you feel like that, Empress.
Not at all. Not at
I
all.
was just
Because you know,
playing.
I throw stuff to you just to throw it. I throw something in a minute and be like, Father, like I saw this and designed it. Here you go.
That's what I was trying to say when you mentioned earlier that, a person asks you to do something for them or mention something that they need done and you'll just take it upon yourself. You know what? I'll do this for you. they don't even have to mention anything or ask for anything because I didn't say a word to you. And ended up with the banners and a whole theme song, an intro.
I mean, because I'm creating. If I'm creating, like I always say, when I met you, see, I have a very strong spirit of discernment. I have a very
Me
strong
too.
discerning spirit. I am very spiritual. Little do people know, I've been in ministry since I was
Too.
12 years old. I just am at a different period in my life where God
Me
has me
too.
ministering on a different level.
In a different level and in
I
a
don't
different way.
necessarily have to be behind a pulpit. I've done that.
Too.
I'm a preacher. I've done that since I was 12 years old. I don't have to do that. God has me reaching people in a different way now and still doing it under the umbrella of his name because I give
Right?
everything
Come
back to
on.
God.
Come on.
But because I have a discerning spirit and when you connected with my channel and I went on your channel and I looked and I'm like, oh my God, he got some good productions. I need to learn how to do that. And I kept searching till I figured it out because we hadn't talked yet. And I was like,
Right.
oh, he must be using OBS or Prism. One or the other is what he's using. So when I started using OBS and I'm looking and I'm like, he ain't creating. And when I talked to you and you told me all of your stuff had been damaged,
That's
and
when
I
you told me
said,
you understood law. That's why I said thank you for
yeah.
doing that. Because to
And I
lose
said, if I
everything,
can
oh, I
just
was
get
broken.
him to create again, his channel he gonna start seeing numbers again. So I created you your intro
And I
and I
will be
turned
so
you on to
forever
Canva
thankful and grateful. God.
and I started showing you programs that I used. And I told you, I said, look, it might not be high class Hollywood studio like you was used to, but it's
Oh,
gonna get you
stop.
pretty close.
I
It's
feel
gonna
like
get you
that's
pretty
because of
close.
stuff you do. You need to
And
be in
when you
Hollywood.
start creating again, I was like, I knew that's all it was. All he needed was that push.
Yep, I will be forever thankful and grateful because I was so lost and so broken. Like I put my all, like you said, when you invest your own money, your own time, blood, sweat, and tears, and have something just wipe it away from you like that, and you did nothing, nothing at all. I would you talking about going dark and was dark. Ooh, and I don't like it because it makes hateful. And I don't like to be hateful. I don't like that spirit. I don't like to feel grudgeful and stuff like that. And I was just done. Like I was just so over it. But this lady named Empress Champagne.
See,
Because
one of
that's how
the
I feel.
can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay. One of the things that people who are gifted have to be careful of, and we're gonna take it to the principles. The principle says not to cast your pearls among swine. So let's break
That's
that
right.
thing down.
Right.
So the thing that you had to go through in order for you to be able to establish gifts, a servant heart, the genuine nature of love. Those things you went through and had to be agitated. A pearl just isn't a pearl. A pearl is inside of the clam. It's constantly being agitated and
Right.
moved around and being irritated, frustrated, whatever case you want to put on it. And then that pearl is produced. So then you have to be careful. And I know, especially if we have a heart, it's like, man, I got to help such. But if you cast it among swine, swine are prone to what? A, eat any and everything. Two, they're filthy. And then three, if not careful, if you're placed inside of their trough, they'll eat you too.
Yep.
So, in the instance of everybody should be protective of their person, protective of their life journey, but especially individuals who are gifted. Every individual that's going to come across this show, understand you have to protect yourself and not
Yep.
make moves haphazardly. And that's something that we learn in the journey. If I could take all of my hurt and pour it out on tables, it would not be enough room for it. But also in the midst of it as well, I had to come to an epiphany. I'm just like, man, a large percentage of it, I it could have been avoided, but I chose. I
Yep.
chose. And I chose wrong. But now, with God as my helper in the future, I can make better decisions. Because at the end of the day, when you know who you are, when you know where you're going, or at least have a thought process of it, you're going to put people and places around you that will help cultivate that gift. Help everybody you can. But in the midst of your helping, understand that you're going to need help as well. And you got to, A, be open enough to that help from other people. And it may come from avenues that you may not necessarily expect and or be comfortable with. But that's a part of the journey, being uncomfortable to develop a life of comfortability.
Hence,
I
this
agree.
whole wonderful YouTube channel in the Champagne City that I've created, because this channel is one of the things that really pulled, is helping to pull me out of my comfort zone, because I have to make myself uncomfortable to be on the screen. I gotta make myself uncomfortable to do that. I
I
gotta
wasn't
make
gonna
myself
stop until you
uncomfortable
did.
to I gotta make myself uncomfortable to put my thoughts and words on a video and
Yeah.
then upload it for the world to hear. So even just starting this YouTube channel and this YouTube journey has really helped me to pull myself out of not even just a place of comfortability, but a place of complacency. Because
Yeah.
I got to a place where I was complacent in the fear. I was afraid to move ahead. I was afraid to look back. I was afraid to stay still because I felt like on every turn I was being rejected. So as I moved forward, I was going to continue to be rejected. And
Right.
if you're not careful, especially trying to do a YouTube journey, when you got to play with this YouTube algorithm, all these people out here putting out all these videos on how to grow your channel overnight, lies.
Yeah, they do that just to get
Not gonna
views.
happen.
I told
All of that's
everybody
just to
that.
get, because I've done all of it. Every single thing they've said to do to grow, I've done it. I've done it. It got to the point where I had to stop looking at the numbers and just do it for the love of the skill
Yeah,
and just
because
for the
they
love
start
of
giving
seeing
you
what I could come
anxiety.
up with and see what I could create. I had to just, I can't even tell you what a number on a video has been for my last few videos, because
I don't.
I
I don't
recently
be.
just decided to stop looking. Because when you pay
Yeah.
attention to what's pushed, if you're being positive and trying to get people to think positively and change your way of thinking, change your way of operation, change your way of being so that you can attain your greatest self, baby, that's not pushed. What's pushed is, no, you only gonna get ahead if you stepping on top of their head to get there.
Yeah.
What's pushed
You
is
have.
fuck my baby daddy. That's
It's
what's
like you
pushed.
gotta have this crab mentality. Let me pull you down so I can get out the barrel. And it's like everybody keep pulling each other down to get out, and nobody makes it out of the barrel.
The Bible says
So,
he prepares a table for me in the presence of my enemies. The Bible never said that you couldn't help me eat. I don't
thank
understand
you.
why a person will want to be on the other side of the table and be an enemy when you can be on this side of the table and enjoy the
And eat
feast.
with me.
That's what doesn't. I don't go about my life trying to make enemies. Matter of fact, I don't even think I have one. Hell, if I do, I don't know
No,
nothing
if
about it
you
and I
do,
don't
you
care.
didn't make them right. I was
I
just
don't.
gonna say, I
I didn't
don't
create it. Yes, I don't.
know.
I don't even give it that much thought because that takes too much energy.
Yeah, it's
I'm trying
draining.
to create a meal that everybody can eat from. Not only eat, but eat and get full. I don't. I want God to bless me so much that I don't have to throw out scraps.
Thank you.
I can set a few people up for a fresh start and give them the training, give them the skills, give them the know-how, so
Man,
that when they step out into this world, they're stepping out the version of them that they want the world to see, and not the
and
version of them that they're masquerading
equipped,
around.
fully equipped.
Fully equipped, not broken, completely whole, walking around with your head held high, chin up, big boy steps, not little ones. But leaving your mark on this. But see, that's not what's pushed.
Right.
That's the sad part. But it goes back to what we're talking about. Toxic culture.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all listen, we'd have been on here for almost 3 hours. It is 2 hours
What
and
do?
56
What
seconds
do?
and 56 minutes and 24 seconds at this point. We gonna run it back again, definitely. But before we get out of here, because we're gonna do part 2 on tomorrow night. Before we get
Yeah.
out of here, any final words from you fellas who stuck in here with me the whole time? Thank you.
Well, I would like to say thank you for having me. As always, I love to come to your network and be a part of any show you having, especially when you're having a panel. To come be with my Champagne gang, my fist fam, my confidant, and all of us as this conjoined family of the Locked and Loaded Champagne gang. And my last and final words is, if you can, and at any time, keep your mind focused and straightforward on steering clear of toxic things and things that feed your spirit negativity. I keep telling people, I don't know one person who drunk a cup of poison and they got better. Negativity is just poison for your spirit. It kills you off. It kills everything of your joy. It kills everything in your will to keep going, your will to survive. And it just kills you off altogether. Now, once you kill the spirit, everything else follows. So if anything you can do, keep your mind focused on keeping your peace. Keep your mind focused on staying steadfast and steering clear of toxicity. And if you can always make sure to manage to do so, is keep your spirit free of anything negative. I love y'all. And I wish y'all a great weekend. And until we meet again, and as Empress says, if it doesn't cause you to elevate,
Don't you steal my skit.
it's causing you to be. You know
Progressive way.
it's causing you to what, Empress?
I ain't thinking about you. Go ahead, Progressive.
It's been an amazing panel, great discussion, great topic, and one that definitely needs to be discussed. I enjoyed all of you all on today, and my final words is just from that of a believer to a believer, because if we get it together, maybe the rest of the world will get it together. So find out where your belief is in the God that you say you believe, and work on that. And understand that God never changes. But also the principle
Man,
lets us know that God is multifaceted. So just like you get upset, he gets upset. Just like
man.
you hurt, he hurts. So handle God how you would want to be handled, and then see what happens.
Thank you,
Amen,
Progressive
bro.
One.
Yeah.
We used to have a saying that they would say when we was in church, before they would dismiss Sunday school. Um, and it would go, I am somebody because God made me, and God don't make no junk.
Come on.
If we would remember that the simple fact that we are here means that we have purpose, and every day we open up our eyes, that means we still have purpose. Even if we open up those eyes with tears in them, even if we open up those eyes and those eyes are puffy, You still have purpose. And every day you open up your eyes, you ought to be seeking God and looking down on the inside of you to find out what that purpose is and what is your God-given duty in the earth realm. Like, God placed all of us here for a reason. It's our job and our duty now to figure out what that reason is. I know my duty is to push others to be the greatest version of themselves possible. That's my duty. That's my task. That's my job. If I'm not pushing someone forward, I feel like I'm failing because I know that's what God, I'm an upgrader. I'm called to take you to your next level. Everybody attached to me, everybody attached to this channel. If you're attached to this channel, you're attached to this channel because there's another level that God wants us to ascend to. Even if it's just learning to dream again and understanding what your gifts are on the inside of you. A lot of us don't even know what our gifts are. So we don't even know what to reach for because we've never searched them out. Because we spent so much time being told we ain't shit and ain't never gonna be nothing. Find out who you are. Because when you find out who you are, it'll help reveal to you who you're not. And you can finally take off the masquerade. You can finally take off the mask. And stop masquerading around as someone that you're choosing not to be. That's all I have to say. Thank you for joining me tonight in this morning in the Champagne City. For everyone who joined, for everyone who listened, for everyone who commented, for those of you who joined me on the panel. I can't wait till we have more and more people come up on the panel. But thank you for joining me. If you want to support the channel, you can do so with the Cash App. It is in the description. You can also become a member of the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. Consider subscribing, becoming a member of the Champagne Gang and the Fizz fam. And if you're not sure just yet, don't worry about it. We'll leave the light on for you. We're family over here. We love each other and I love you. Until next time, always remember, if it doesn't cause you to elevate, it's causing you to what, Father Locke?
Appreciate, baby.
Now raise those glasses, clink, and let's drink till we meet again. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta, baby.